our vantage point, it's hard to tell if they're buttoned in. And yeah, Tagliani's got his gloves on.
Right? So that's I was going to say the same thing. You see those fluorescent gloves.
Raphael Lessard in the Ray Jr. Investissement number 8 was chatting with Ray Jr. Courtemanche. That to me is really cool. Ray Jr. loves racing. He's a very successful business person, but he decided, you know what? I want to win races too. Working with Raphael Lessard. Lessard drives the ovals, and Courtemanche gets to go out and race on the road courses, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. Ray Jr. Courtemanche is not a natural threat right now to win on a road course, but he's learning his craft. Come out here, the car can run on an oval. He'll have a great time watching Raphael Lessard duke it out at the front of this field, and he can race on the road courses.
A legitimate superstar here, right, Adam? Like, the fans go crazy for Raphael here.
Yeah, but they also go crazy for Donald Teach and LP Dumoulin and Alex Tagliani and Andrew Ranger. The Quebec contingent of race fans, they really embrace the home talent, the talent that comes from their province. And they embrace the rivalries. I mean, Kevin Lacroix, they love to hate him. They love to dislike Kevin, and he's passionate about his sport. So they really do. It's all things exciting about sport and competition and rivalry. We see it all when we come to Quebec.
You know, we got to talk to Kevin a couple weeks ago, and he's kind of all right with it. You know, he kind of embraces that. If I'm going to wear the black hat, then I'm okay wearing the black hat. Some people are going to misunderstand me, and that's okay too. It's kind of refreshing for a driver not to need everybody to love him.
He did not understand stock car racing when he came here about 7 years ago. I think it was about 7 years ago, and won his first race. He might have been one who won his first race. We'll have to look into that. But he very quickly learned a couple of green-white checkers, getting muscled out of the way, and he got very upset over it, and then he realized he's now NASCAR racing. He came out of the Formula ranks to come NASCAR racing. It's part of the sport. It's part of the entertainment.
Yep.
And as you say, he embraces it. He knows his role. I don't think he loves his role of a villain, but he understands it, and he will play it.
Not afraid to engage with folks in social media too, which is refreshing, entertaining, and dangerous all in the same breath.
I'll tell you what's dangerous is the fact that his English has become so much better than it was back in the beginning that he can now engage and fight in 2 languages.
He can take him on from both sides. What a fantastic field of cars we've got assembled here for the QuickWick 250, getting ready to come up here from Autodrome Chaudiere in Vallee-Jonction, Quebec. Appreciate you all joining us here on what's turned out to be a beautiful Saturday afternoon, Adam.
It's just like our day. It was beautiful, then it wasn't, now it is.
Yeah.
It's
and here we are.
It's just how it goes. 23 cars strong. So they are lined up 2 wide from turn 1 all the way back to turn number 4.
So when you divide them and put them in one line, they're going to wrap around in the midpoint of the back straightaway, right?
Yep. So it's going to be busy for these drivers, and I think that has to favor a driver like Raphael Lessard, who, of course, ran in the NASCAR Truck Series. He got a lot of experience in fields of race vehicles over 30 cars, right? And on big tracks where things come at you in a hurry. So I got to think that Raphael Lessard, this will favor him. It might favor a DJ Kennington with lots of experience, a Trayton Lapsevich, who's used to racing APC late models in close quarters.
How about Donald Teach, Adam? We've seen sparks of brilliance from him in the past few years. We've also seen him have problems where he couldn't quite put the punctuation point on the end of the sentence at some events.
Donald Teach sometimes struggles at pacing himself. He is so competitive that he doesn't want you to pass him, but sometimes you have to lose a battle if you want to win the war. It's about the big picture. He's got a great starting spot out here in that 80 machine, and he does not care about the point standings.
So the field looks to be assembled. I think we've got all the cars on the grid, and we should be ready to get going here. And a great look at the crowd here today.
Just massive, massive crowd.
But fans, everybody's got a shirt on. You know, they're supporting their team. Seen lots of team shirts out there today.
Yep. So walking up and down the field are the NASCAR officials. They will make sure that all of these drivers are ready to rumble And then I believe they might have changed up the schedule yet again because we had heard there was going to be a VIP introduction, but I don't see the announcer down trackside. Great announcer here at the track.
Oh, I thought you were talking yourself up.
No, does he ever? You know what? So much fun to work with. So normally we would be down here and it'd be bilingual. So I work in English. The local announcer works in French, and we talk together. So I can't speak French, but I can understand it. They can speak English and French, and it's just back and forth, and it's been a lot of fun.
I can't understand a word he says. I can tell you that straight up. But exciting to hear him call qualifying. Spencer and I were loving it over there. And when you look back to the guys we had down there, you know, all these guys we had up here with us, we're just freaking out watching them go at it.
Yep, they bring the excitement, that's for sure. So all that's left on the front straightaway is a bit of the crew from Fuel Media Lab getting ready to film things to go on TSN. And a couple of officials. So let's go through the starting lineup, Clinton. Rolling off in the 23rd spot out of Kanawaki, Quebec, the K-Fiber Optic Bullies Truck Stop Chevrolet number 66. It's Wallace Stacy. On the outside of row number 11, in the RGC Sports Delta Bingo, Villamo Chevrolet number 2, it's TJ Rinamato. Starting 21st from Peterborough, the OK Tire Peterborough, driven for Communications Dodge number 71, it's Brian Cathcart.
Starting 20th in the 0 out of Oshwegan Speedway in the Glenn Stiers Racing Chevrolet, the number 0 Glenn Stiers. In 19th starting spot, car number 98 in the Curb Records AER Dark Horse Strode Chevrolet, it'll be 98 Sam Fellows. In 18th starting spot, car number 37 in the Temis Chrysler Rosso Metal Castrol Dodge, it's the number 37 is Simone Dion Viens. In the number 84 car, it's the O'Neill Electric Castrol Milwaukee Dodge of Larry Jackson.
Starting on the outside of row number 8, he's from Mirabel, Quebec. A rookie driver this season. He's behind the wheel of the Prolon Rousseau Metals Olivier Ford number 1, J.P. Bergeron. On the inside of that 8th row, in the Bullies Truck Stop, K-Fiber Optic Chevrolet, number 92, it's Dexter Stacy. Starting on the outside of row number 7, out of Stainer, Ontario, the GMS Sheer Metal Products, APC Chevrolet number 9, another one of our Rookie of the Year competitors, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching him battle with the likes of J.P. Bergeron, and let's not forget Glenn Stiers and Wallace Stacy, who are going to be here all season long. It's Brandon Watson behind the wheel of that beautiful number 9. And on the inside of row number 7, in the number 12 Duraking Petro Belanger Albertville Dodge number 12, it's Matthew Kingsbury.
Starting 12th, car number 64 in the Leland Industries IHL Group Chevrolet, it's Mark Dilley. In 11th starting position, car number 3 in the North Country Property Maintenance TCB Trailers Fast Eddie Chevrolet, it'll be the 3 of Brett Taylor.
Brett Taylor's our only Alberta racer in the field in this race. I don't want to say this season because that can change, but Calgary, Alberta is where Brett Taylor calls home.
Starting 10th, car number 17. It's the Castrol Edge Cathcart Trucking CIM Metals Dodge, DJ Kennington.
Can you believe this, Clinton? He is one of 3 Canadian Motorsport Hall of Famers in this field. In fact, that might be light. We got 1, 2, there might be 4 of them. I'm going to think about that for a couple of minutes, and we'll get back to you. Carry on.
All right, starting 9th. In the number 74 ESR Lacroix Tuning, Boulogne Mary Dodge, it is Kevin Lacroix in the 74.
To the outside of row number 4 we go, and this driver is from Roxton Pond, Quebec. the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada Chevrolet, number 27, it's Andrew Ranger. Up next, he's starting 7th. Almost had the win at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, had it snatched away from him in the final corner. From Halton Hills, Ontario, the New Tech Wood Dodge, number 59, Gary Clute. Starting in 6th from Grimsby, Ontario. He's won a race this season. It was the opening round at Sunset Speedway. The RGC Sports QuickWick FBM Chevrolet number 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. And here's a driver who he took that victory from. It looked like he was on his way to a win at Sunset Speedway, but it was not to be. In the Transit, Easy Clean, RJ Investissement Chevrolet number 8, it's Raphael Lessard.
Your second car on the outside row, starting 4th here today in the Viagra St. Hubert QuickWick NTN Chevrolet, number 18, Alex Tagliani. Your third starter tonight in the GM Paillet Chevrolet Canada, it's the number 96 of back, Marc-Antoine Camerand.
And your front row on the outside of row number 1 from Boischatel, Quebec, the Group Teej Incorporated, XPN Chevrolet number 80, it's Donald Teej. And your pole sitter, by 6 1/1000ths of a second, with a time of 13.148 seconds. From Trois-Rivières, Quebec, the WeatherTech Belle-Mère Dodge, number 47, Louis-Philippe LP Dumoulin. That is your starting grid in Clinton. Let's go down. LP Dumoulin in the Canadian Motorsports Hall of Fame. So is Alex Tagliani. So is DJ Kennington. So is Glenn Steyer. So four active racers in this event who are proud members of the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool.
Sure is, and goes to show the level of talent you've got here. And not all of them got it from this series, Adam, which is even more impressive that they've come to the series. Got Glenn Steyer's got his award from his dirt prowess and his investments in the sport. You know, he gets it that way, but here he is in the NASCAR Pinty Series. LP, a lot of his stuff would have come from his road racing career, and that would have built up his mystique and got him a big portion of his nomination into the Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame. And now he's here in the series. Kennington, well, he's just been here since the get-go.
And that's a big accolade for Kennington. Also qualifying for the Daytona 500 helped his effort, so DJ Kennington with that accolade.
And the fourth one, Alex Tagliani. I mean, IndyCar, NASCAR, it goes on and on, road racing, everything in Canada. Tags has got it covered.
And it's a unique Hall of Fame, Clinton, because it might be the only Hall of Fame that I know, well, it is the only Hall of Fame I know of, where you can be an active competitor and be inducted into the Hall of Fame, because they look at certain accolades, and if you exceed that benchmark, you're going to be welcomed in.
Well, it only makes sense, Adam. I got to go to the ceremony a few weeks ago, and there are a lot of the active drivers out there. But then there were a couple of families out there who were inducting folks who had passed on. And why not honor them while they're here, still competitive and with us and with our group, and they can be celebrated with the people that put them there, which is so awesome. Instead of after they go out to pasture, we're going to, oh yeah, remember he used to be somebody. So I think it's great.
For sure. And there's nothing that can happen on the racetrack that would diminish their achievements, their accomplishments.
No, for sure. So, Adam, we'll jump over to the announcer booth for a moment. And I'll be stuck here with our producer, Morgan, tonight. And we will put the show on. Amazing here, though. It's so cool to see this place. If you've never been here, as we keep preaching to you, definitely have to come out and check it out. If you're just joining us, we're getting ready for the QuickWick 250 live here from Autodrome Chaudiere in Vallee-Jonction, Quebec. 250 laps here for the NASCAR Pinty Series. It will be a break race, so as soon or as close as we can get to lap 125, we will take a break. The cars will have an opportunity to go in and make pit stops and come back out. But if you're just joining us, Adam and I were talking earlier, if you get into a situation where you get a flat tire today, you're going to find yourself in a whole bunch of trouble going down a few laps just to try and get back to the pit area. It is not really a setup for pit stops, so you're going to have to go back to the pits, get in there, get fixed up, get turned around, and get back out. So you definitely lose some time, and then you have to wait for a break to get back in. And we're ready for the anthems.
Car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Merci.
I'll take care of anthems, and only a little bit more to go. Will be drivers, start your engines, coming up shortly. It is time to fire it up for the QuickWick 250, and they get it done. QuickWick Fire Starter, the world's best fire starter. If you've not checked it out, an amazing little product. If you camp, if you have a home fire, if you need to cook in the woods, whatever you need, QuickWick can get you fixed up. Go down and see them. If you're here with us at the Speedway, they have a trailer here on site. And if not, look them up on the web. What a great product. The QuickWick 250 getting ready to go here from Vallee-Jonction, Quebec at Autodrome Chaudiere. Adam Ross back here. Adam, they fired the cars. We got the anthems. What's left to do but put some rubber down on the Speedway?
And it's time, Clinton. 23 cars. Who is going to set the pace? Someone has to be the rabbit. Somebody has to run a responsible pace. The first race is to the halfway break around lap 125.
Who's it going to be?
The winner today?
No, the rabbit.
I think Donald Teague is going to be the rabbit.
I got my Marc-Antoine Cameron. Simply what we saw at Sunset there, where he went out and tried to run away from the field.
Here is my opinion. We're going to have the race to the break at 125. We're going to have the next race to lap 210.
Right.
And then you've got 40 laps. Those 40 laps is where you put your signature on the event.
So you're going to play driver or crew chief today?
Oh, a little of both. It depends what happens. That's the fun part. That's the fun part of commentating, and we're going to play a little bit of official. We do a bit of everything around here.
Well, if I'm going to be your crew chief today, Adam, I'm going to tell you that you need to ride and make sure you stay out of trouble, like you said, till about lap 200, 210. And then we'll see what we got and make some adjustments if we have a chance to do it. We probably won't, so we're going to try and adjust as best we can on the break to make sure you're not burning up those tires before lap 200 and you still got some meat.
Well,
on
and
your
that's
sneakers at the end of this one.
Right, and that's going to be the call of the day from every crew chief up and down the line, every spotter. Spotter's job is to get you in single file. Quick as you can, get you into a pace. But that spotter and crew chief also have to be watching the pace the leader is running and how that puts you. There are going to be people that go a lap down today, Clinton, who aren't going to finish a lap down.
What about a guy like Brandon Watson, rookie of the series? We've seen him dominate these short track events. We've seen him hold on to his tires till the end. He's going to get a win here in one of these races, isn't he, Adam? Soon?
It stands to reason he will. He screwed up in qualifying. He overdrove a little bit or had a brake problem.
And probably never seen this place before today either.
No,
right?
but you know what? There's one driver who, if you talk to him, he would not give you an excuse. Like, you would not hear that from Brandon Watson, because he expects a lot from himself. He knows he can show up here and perform. That's his job. Alex Tagliani with a problem on the front straightaway. That car has not taken off.
Wow, that is not good news for the Viagra, St. Hubert, NTN bearing machine here, and also QuickWick on the quarter there.
The spotters are just below our position, Clinton, down and to the left, so they're about 50 feet away. I'm looking for Colin Livingston, who is the spotter for the number 18. Glenn Steyer's in the 0. Looks like that car needs some help firing. He gets that thing fired off, and maybe we're going to see Alex Tagliani get the same treatment here with a push start.
We see crew chief Caden Lapsevich walking down here in front. Will he be spotting up here, Adam? What would Caden be doing up here in the grandstands at this point of the evening?
You know what? If there's something he wants to know. So here again, Caden Lapsevich, and I love this dynamic. Lapsevich is the crew chief for Andrew Ranger. They've not had the success they were looking for just yet this season, and it's amplified by the fact that Marc-Antoine Cameron, the teammate, has had tremendous speed. Andrew Ranger always runs a different line than anybody else here, so I believe Caden Lapsevich will head down towards turn number 1, the complete opposite end of the facility from where the pits are. But keep in mind, if Ranger comes into the pits, there's not much you can do. You're going to lose laps, you're going to ruin your day. So Caden's going to see what he can learn and communicate that, because he is one crew chief, similar to the relationship Don Thompson Jr. has as crew chief of Kevin Lacroix. He's been there, he's done that, so they can speak each other's language and really communicate in a different level than any of the other drivers with their crew chiefs. That's a good point.
And I think Don Thompson was a big reason why Lacroix became a short track racer so good so quickly.
The Lacroix family came to this sport and they did it right. They got the best. They got Don Thompson Jr. We want you to prepare these race cars. You are going to be a mentor to our son. You are going to be the center of this team. A lot of these cars are prepared in Southern Ontario at Dunny's shop just outside of Hamilton, Ontario. Then they go to St. Eustache, Quebec, and there are times when he'll go down to Quebec and work on them, but they did everything right. They got all the equipment that they wanted, and they got the person they wanted to spearhead that program.
Adam, let's talk quickly about the Tagliani situation. We saw him not get fired up. Didn't matter for starters. He was at the back anyways, so he would have to go back. What's the rule there with the NASCAR Pinty Series? He had to get pushed off, couldn't start on his own. He's going to get his spot for the start, correct?
Yeah, you'll get your spot for the original start. I can't really quote that rule, Clinton, but before the race starts, they will give you that opportunity. You will get one push start. I believe if the car fails again, he would forfeit that.
You and I call sprint car races on Friday that need to be push started. The rule is they can have one push start, second one you're done. Very similar here in the NASCAR Pinty Series, and we're bunched up and we're going.
The QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert, about to take the green. LP Dumoulin on the inside, Donald Teege on the outside. Green flag gonna fly out of turn number 4, and we are off.
Fans are up on their feet, waving the hats and shirts as we get going. It's LP Dumoulin. Here comes Marc-Antoine Cameron to the inside of Teege to try and put an early move.
Donald Teege actually gave LP Dumoulin the opportunity to jump out to that good start, but you can see he pounced on turn 3 and 4 to battle with Cameron. I don't believe he wants to give up any more spots than that, as LP Dumoulin opens up a car length, and he is already 1/2 a lap away from lapping cars.
Teege will pull back in line in third in front of Tagliani and work his way onto the back straightaway. A bit dark over there as the sun is shaded by all the billboards, but we still have a lot of sun here on the front straightaway.
The sun will be a little bit of a factor for these drivers coming off of turn number 2 and heading down the back straightaway, but I think they'll be able to handle it.
I gotta think turn 3 is gonna handle a bit differently in full shade than the other 3 turns.
Yeah, they probably will, Clinton, but again, it cooled down tremendously this afternoon, and looking back through the field, Andrew Ranger is already up on the outside. Kevin Lacroix to the inside, but this is the line we would expect Andrew Ranger to run, and he may stay up there all day long.
We get a good view of this battle. Andrew Ranger, Lacroix with DJ Kennington rolling right in the tire tracks of both of them, and here comes the 64 trying to work his way in there of Mark Dilley as well.
Now, Don Thompson Jr., he's going to be on the radio to Kevin Lacroix saying, look, don't use up your right front tire. You use a lot of right front, having to pinch your car down on the inside of somebody. If he's faster, let him go. Let's ride some laps. DJ Kennington, he saw what Andrew Ranger was up to. He's going to roll the outside as well.
LP Dumoulin will come around to complete lap number 8. He's your leader. Second, Marc-Antoine Cameron, Donald Teege, Alex Tagliani, and then Ray junior quarter marsh machine with Raphael Lessard at the wheel today.
I'm a little surprised at Larry Jackson in the O'Neill Electric Supply 84. He's going the wrong direction right now. He's up on the outside of Simon Dion-Vienne. He's one that we generally see will qualify a little further back in the field, but will steadily march his way through.
Good two-car battle here as Tagliani gets pinched up on the outside. Lessard will go to the bottom, and Trayton Lapsovich will try and fill that gap as well as they get back to turn number 3.
All day long, we're going to see drivers take advantage of other people's hard work. That was Trayton Lapsovich letting someone else do the heavy lifting. Raphael Lessard opened the door. He only needed to drive through. We've got a battle for the lead. Marc-Antoine Cameron. LP Dumoulin slammed the door shut down in turn 3.
Boy, Marc-Antoine Cameron had a great run down the back straightaway that time, and you're right. LP put it in, had everybody gulping up here in the scoring tower as they worked their way back to 3 and 4 again. And now Tijan in the back of Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Traffic is going to be an issue. Some of it's lap down traffic and some of it's the traffic that comes from behind. LP Dumoulin swings up to the outside to put Wallace Stacey a lap down. Cameron going to follow in his tire tracks. They will both clear the 66. Now Donald Teague will do the same thing.
Top 3 together with a lap car behind them. Raphael Lessard will make the high side move to get around the Stacey 66 once more. And as they bring it back to the front, 15 on the board. Still LP Dumoulin, but here comes Marc-Antoine Cameron sniffing up the bottom side.
Cameron's going to run out of racetrack as they approach Brian Cathcart. Dumoulin swings to the outside of Cathcart. Cameron, he's a dancer with no partner out there. He's got nowhere to go, but he's going to drive to the inside.
Ooh.
Oh, no.
Wow. Nice to meet you, Mr. Cathcart.
Well,
and Brian Cathcart goes around. I think that was a little too early to be putting that move on him, Adam. No, he just approached him and dumped him.
Well, you know what? Marc-Antoine Cameron, aggressive out there. That's where he wanted to go. I think it was too aggressive of him.
He needed that. He needed to move him. There's no doubt, but
no.
Not the first turn.
No, not at all.
You had to try a gentleman.
You're the second
first.
place driver. Get in line. Right, the leader, LP Dumoulin, is the race leader, is going to use Brian Cathcart, not as a pick. He's just running his line. He's a dancer with no partner out there. He's got nowhere to go, but he's going to drive to the...
But lap 17, you got a lot of time to be doing that. You could easily get yourself in trouble.
I'll tell you what, Marc-Antoine Cameron, what is going to cause trouble is if they came up on Brian Cathcart and put him a lap down on lap 16, they're going to do it again later. And if I'm Brian Cathcart, who's one of the nicest guys in the pits, I've now put the number 96 on my dashboard. So You know what? That's a foul. Party foul. As the race gets later on, you know what it's like. You make their life a little bit more difficult. You want as many friends as you can have.
It's hard to make friends when you're a bull in a china shop.
Let's take a quick break here on Flow Racing, and we will be right back.
Officials working on the lineup here, getting set to go. LP Dumoulin cleaning off the tires here just in front of Marc-Antoine Cameron. And as they approach the back end of the field, you can see just how close they are to the rest. Here's a quick replay. And yeah, just come off the turn, just flat out dumped him. And not to say that Cathcart wasn't in the way, but he wasn't in the way long enough to warrant that move, in my opinion.
So in that case, watching a lot of short track races as we have, he's not in the way. Your job as a car going a lap down is to run a predictable line. Whether it's inside, outside, as long as you're not erratic, Clinton, you're doing your job. So did he deserve it? No. It was an innocent spin. But if I'm Brian Cathcart, I would be a little bit irritated. I would come on the radio and say, hey guys, who was that?
But if he held him up for 3 more laps, then the move's warranted.
But he was, again, he's holding his line. Go to the outside.
No, I agree. Pace car makes the hard right hand up off the berm. We're ready to go here. LP Dumoulin leading Marc-Antoine Cameron, Donald Teague, Raphael Lessard, and Trayton Lapsovich, the top 5.
Cameron could be in a little bit of trouble here. He tried to pinch Donald Teague down the racetrack. That is not going to fly. Donald Teague is a veteran stock car racer. He is not going to give up that inside. Cameron pulls down in front of him. Donald Teague will extract his extract his pound of flesh very quickly out here if he thinks it's due. Raphael Lessard shoots hard into turn number 3.
I watched him go down the back straightaway at him. He was a whole lane and a half above everybody else. Kind of crowds down on the 80s door this time, but as they get back to 3, Lessard up on the outside at first car, 2 wide, going at.
We look back through the field. Andrew Ranger always winds up. I wish I'd have paid more attention to where he restarted. Was he on the outside for the restart or not? But Donald Teach, boy, oh boy, you know he's got to be steaming a little bit in that race car, wishing he wasn't having to battle with Lessard, because he was able to keep pace with the 2 leaders earlier on, but now having to pinch that car down as he is, that's really affecting his pace. Glenn Stiers pulls off into the pits, and that Zero machine looks like he might make an early exit from this one.
Drayton, Lapsevich on the back end here trying to grab a piece of 4th, but the leaders are still LP Dumoulin and the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. Lessard working that outside lane to try and find the way around.
Lessard doing a great job up on the high side, but lap after lap, it looks like Donald Teach is learning a little bit more about what his race car wants to be competitive in the bottom groove. He's doing some great learning right now.
There we get a good look at it for the viewers at home as the battle ensues. Lessard just drives around Teach. He will assume the 3rd position and try to reel in the 2 leaders who have pulled away to about a 20 car length lead.
A little further back, Kevin Lacroix is on the march. He's using that outside groove right now to battle with Gary Clute in the 59. And if you remember, those two had some excitement back at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We talked to both of them since then, and they say they have moved on, but Gary Clute sure is running Lacroix a little bit higher up in the turns.
You know, the Smiling Assassin didn't look super impressed. He was politically correct, but I had the feeling that there was already a easier race number on his dash from that day.
Well, and this to me is exactly what he should do. He's running Kevin Lacroix just a half a lane up the track, not a long way, just making his life a little bit miserable. He made Kevin work pretty hard for that pass, and that was early in the race. That is low stakes battling, but it sets the stage for us.
Leaders coming in, and they get together a little bit in a 1, and now we have a challenge for the lead. Marc-Antoine Cameron gets to the bottom of LP Dumoulin. Dumoulin's going to let him go. Pulls up in front. They'll work their way around the Stacy 66 for the 2nd time. And now Cameron, new leader.
Marc-Antoine Cameron sweeps around Wallace Stacy in the 66. He will lead the way. Let's see if LP Dumoulin can keep pace or chooses to keep pace with that 96. But right now it looks like Cameron might be looking to leave the field in his wake.
I called that rabbit. I think he's happy up front, Adam. He looked really good at the Sunset race. Looking good here under the sun today.
Even a blind squirrel gets in that once in a while, Clinton, but you were right. You called it.
Yellow's out again.
Mark Dilley and one of the Stacy cars, I believe that's Dexter Stacy, and they are hooked together.
Oh, that exhaust pipe just got spit out there, Adam, didn't it?
Looks that way.
That was strange. Oh, and they get apart.
They're separated.
So it is Dexter Stacy. Oh, Dilly.
Oh, muffin.
Oh, boy. That looks like a perfect demo derby pit if we had to have one out in the infield of this track.
Yeah, it really does. So little bit of contact there. Both of those drivers go down a lap in that excursion. This is where, and we talk about we're going to play announcer, we're going to play crew chief, we're going to play spotter as the night goes on, but this is where we need to make mental notes, Clinton. Okay, who's involved? So the 92 and the 64, they're not going to do anybody any favors. 71 is not going to cut 96 any slack as the race goes on. Donald Teach might be a little disappointed that the 96 pinched him down. You need to remember all these things because in 200 laps it matters.
Marc-Antoine Cameron paces the field here behind the pace car. Has been dominant a few times this year. And really good at Sunset. Should have won that race.
Well, and that's the thing with short track racing is they will leave there certainly thinking that, but car racing doesn't owe anything to anybody, right? In their minds, hey, we dominated that race.
Yep.
Things can happen at the end, and they often do in the NASCAR Pinty series. Boy, oh boy, we have had some dynamic finishes over the years, but particularly the first two races of this season.
Great car counts, great field of cars everywhere we've gone so far this year. The series has really bounced back from the pandemic very well.
You know, and you've got to look at a couple of factors. For one, you want to look at the number of cars, but for two, you want to look at the quality of the equipment on the track. And we've never had this much quality equipment hitting the racetrack, Clint.
Great point. More and more newcomers coming in, different people getting involved, influx of cash from some of these more wealthier investors in the series, which is always helpful.
Absolutely. There's well-funded racers. I mean, Glenn Stiers, TJ Renamoto, TJ leveraging some of his relationships in the business world to support a number of racers, not the least of which Trayton Lapsevich in the 20 machine, Brandon Watson in the 9. So there's, and the sport needs that. The sport has always needed that. Would Dale Earnhardt have been Dale Earnhardt if it wasn't for Richard Childress?
No.
Deciding that, you know, he didn't want to drive anymore, but look, together we could do some good things.
It's a lot like the 8 situation there, right?
Yeah.
Ray Quartermash says, hey, maybe I shouldn't drive. Maybe you should drive. Dexter Stacey headed for the pits.
Yeah, Stacey makes that hard right turn. And as we said, it's going to be tough to go into the pits and have any hope of not losing 2 to 3 laps. Right now, Matthew Kingsbury in the 12 machine comes up lame on the back straightaway. That'll keep the yellow flag in the air.
Yeah, the pace car was going to make the right-hander there, I'm pretty sure. And Mike Charret, starter for the NASCAR Pinty Series, had the green and was getting perched up ready to throw it, but he had to reach back for the yellow one instead.
It looked like Kingsbury wasn't sure if he wanted to make the right turn into the pits or stay on the racetrack. He chooses to stay on the track.
That's a gorgeous car.
Isn't that
King
pretty?
12. Oh. All the cars look great this year. They really do. Well, pace car, slow now. Yellow still out there. I think we should be good to go. Now Kingsbury will make the right-hander in the pits. Just need a lap to think about it.
He was psyching himself up a little bit. So you've got to make the right turn halfway between 3 and 4. Little dog leg where you go back into the pits, which is almost the length of the front straightaway to get back to where they can work on these race cars.
Maybe it was like a Days of Thunder moment where the crew was eating ice cream. We weren't ready for him to come in yet.
I've been there, Clint.
Eating ice cream, or you wanted to come in and your crew was eating ice cream?
No, eating ice cream.
I eat ice cream every night before bed.
That's it. Okay. I'm not going to judge. Who am I? Who am I to judge you?
Look at my figure.
I know. I know.
That's just because I don't eat anymore, but anything but ice cream. But let's talk business.
Let's take you through the field as we're almost 50 laps into this QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. Marc-Antoine Cameron in the 96 leads the way. LP Dumoulin in the 47 is second. Matthew Kingsbury returns to the racetrack. I believe he did that and only lost 1 lap. Third is Raphael Lessard in the 8. Fourth is Donald Teague in the 80. Fifth is the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. Sixth is Andrew Ranger in the 27. Alex Tagliani is 7th in the 18. The 74 of Kevin Lacroix is 8th. DJ Kennington, remember that name. DJ Kennington, Castrol Edge 17 in 9th. I think he is quietly doing exactly what he wants to do. Rounding out the top 10, it's Gary Clute in the 59. Still a number more cars still on the lead lap. The 9 of Brandon Watson, the 3 of Brett Taylor, the 84 Larry Jackson, the 1 JP Bergeron. I believe the 37 of Simon Dion Vienne also still on the lead lap as we go back to green.
And we can hear our compatriot French announcer next room going at it. I love the energy.
I'm a big fan of professional wrestling. I love the big events. Let's check in with our Spanish commentators.
Yeah, for sure. It's exciting. Even when you don't know the language, it's still good to see them get ramped up. Another guy getting ramped up here is Marc-Antoine Cameron out front of LP Dumoulin. And then you've got Teague and Lessard side by side there for that position number 3.
Donald Teague exploring some different lines out there. He's good in 1 and 2. 3 and 4, he struggled last time, went way up the racetrack. This time a little bit more efficient. He's able to keep that car down, and he will have the spot at the stripe.
Still a little bit loose off of 4 for that 80 car. Adam makes me worry about his tire conservation as they work on it. And we'll watch him as he gets loose here again. stands on the gas and kind of fishtails it out. That time a lot straighter and smoother off of 4.
And remember last year when Donald Teague was out with that broken hand or broken wrist, it was Raphael Lessard who drove the car for him. Oh, Lessard has trouble in turn number 3, shoots up the racetrack. There goes Trayton Lapsevich. Andrew Ranger may try to follow him through, but out in front, Marc-Antoine Cameron with about 6 car lengths over LP Dumoulin in the 47.
Haven't really had a lot to say about Trayton Lapsevich, Adam. You know, winner at the Sunset event, wasn't supposed to grab the win, ended up with someone else's misfortune handing it to him. He was legit a 3rd place car that day, but you got to be there to capitalize when those situations arise.
You're absolutely right, and that's what we talk about. It's that last portion of the race. You've got to put yourself in position to have a top finish. Look at this gaggle of cars. Gary Clute working the outside of Alex Tagliani. That's a battle deeper in the top 10. DJ Kennington looking for racing room right behind them.
Kennington quietly making his way. A couple of veterans there. Tagliani in front of him. Clute hung up on the outside. We also see Lessard working the outside of the Lacroix 74.
A few laps ago, it looked like we were going to be talking about Raphael Lessard going up to challenge for the lead. He's fallen out of the top 5 up there on the outside. Right now, it's Andrew Ranger looking racy. He pokes his nose to the outside of Trayton Lapsevich.
Can't quite get there. Now he'll look back to the inside on the 20.
And he sails it down into turn number 3, and he made it stick. Wow, that was a power move by Andrew Ranger to pick up that 4th position.
Yeah, he's going for it. Just walked around all those guys, working his way up towards the Tige 80 now. See if he can make a move on him. Still, it is Cameron, Dumoulin, Tige, Ranger, Lapsevich, the top 5. Then Lacroix, Tagliani, Kensington, Lessard, and Watson through 6 through 10.
There has to be a level of frustration for Andrew Ranger. The teammate car is doing so well. Back at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, it was pretty much driver error. They punched a hole in the oil pan because he was just pounding the curbing at CTMP.
But you're right. You know, Marc-Antoine Cameron has had speed at every event so far this year. Ranger, not so much.
And he's a proud driver, but he's setting up Donald Teague. Let's see if he can sail it into turn number 3. Gives a little nudge there to Teague. Not much, but just a touch.
Boy, you couldn't have put a business card between them on that speed shot when they came down the front straightaway at our cameras.
Give Andrew Ranger that 3rd spot. Trayton Lapsevich in the 20. He says, I'll walk through that door if you're going to open it.
So up front.
Trouble on the front straightaway. That was... Did Glenn Stiers just re-enter the racetrack?
I don't know, but he is out there. I didn't see when he came back out.
Wow. Matthew Kingsbury drives it into the outside of Stiers. Now they're 3 wide as Mark Dilley goes to the inside, but it got crowded there in a big old hurry.
So our leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron, up on the inside of the Dexter Stacy 92. He's got almost a full back straightaway lead over the 47 of LP Dumoulin, who's got 3/4 of a straightaway over Ranger.
This is what you call being mired in traffic. Marc-Antoine Cameron had TJ Renamato in the high groove, Brian Cathcart in the low groove. Now Cameron, there you go, Brian Cathcart just pushed up a little bit as Cameron went to the outside.
Stiers back in the pits and once again in the 0 car.
It was just a little bit he went up, but let's keep an eye on the left rear tire of Marc-Antoine Cameron.
Cameron now with clear track out in front. We're watching the battle with Tige, Tagliani, Kennington. That is 5th through 7th on the speedway.
Nobody's in clear racetrack, so it's not fair to judge their last lap speeds, but Andrew Ranger looks pretty darn racy out there.
Cameron off of 4, good lead, but we're still watching the battle. 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all right there in your picture. Starts with the Tige number 80 in 5th place, 6th Tagliani. And that battle still continues with 178 to go.
You can see Brandon Watson now joining in with that pack. He really hasn't been a factor in the top 10, but he's trying to knock on the door. He's out there behind the 18 of Tagliani, 17 Kennington, 74 Lacroix. Then it's the 9.
How about Lessard fading back, Adam? That's not something I think we would have expected this.
No, I don't think so either. But again, And I really do think that the teams and the drivers look at it this way. Things aren't going his way. Find yourself a little pocket on the racetrack to run laps. We'll get to the mid. Someone's breaking up badly. Did you hear that?
It's hard to tell here with our headset and the windows between us, but could be. Is that what we're hearing out there?
I could have swore I heard someone breaking up really badly. I think that it might be the two of TJ Rinamato if it's anybody, but he is slowing to get out of the way. But this is the race to lap 125. All Lessard has to do is stay on the lead lap. They can go in and make changes. The last thing you want to do is overdrive the car and really put yourself in a bad spot.
Working on lap 77 complete, 78 now. Next on the board, still Marc-Antoine Cameron, LP Dumoulin, Andrew Ranger, Trayton Lapsevich, and Donald Teege, the top 5, 6 through 10. Tagliani, Kennington, Lacroix, Watson, and Clute as we watch the leader just ringing laps off the board.
Wow, and Lessard is about 4 lanes up the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Same down in 1 and 2. So he's up there in the Andrew Ranger line right now in that 8 machine. Speaking of Andrew Ranger, he's about to catch the 47 of LP Dumoulin. We're going to keep our eyes on Lessard.
Still watching the battle here on the stream. Donald Teege, position number 5. 6, Alex Tagliani. DJ Kennington in position 7 in the Castrol Dodge.
Matthew Kingsbury makes contact with the 3 of Brett Taylor coming through turn number 4. That is just ahead of the race leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron. So that's what you've got to watch for when you're the leader and if you're that spotter. You know these drivers are going to be turning up the wick. They don't want to go a lap down. If they are a lap down, they don't want to go another lap down. So they're going to get aggressive out there. Look at Brett Taylor. It looks like he might be trying to size up the 12 of Kingsbury.
He gets into the back bumper here a bit off of turn number 4, and the pack is tight right in front of the leaders, and TJ Rinamato got off the pace. Good thing he was in the high groove. Cameron got by on the bottom.
And this is just in front of the race leader. So if Brett Taylor goes to seek revenge on the 12 of Matthew Kingsbury, it could cause problems for the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. He'll slide up to the outside and make room for the race leader.
Looking at the battle here with Alex Tagliani and Kevin Lacroix trying to size each other up just behind the 17 of Kennington once again. Lap 85 complete, Adam.
That last restart, remember I said, let's keep an eye on DJ Kennington. He's restarting 9th, and I think things are going his way. He just passed his way into the 5th spot.
Still got a long way to go up to Trayton Lapsevich to reel him in here. It's at least a half a straightaway advantage that the 20 car holds over the 17 here with 162 to go.
Well, remember this, when they have the halftime break, the field is frozen. They will go into the pits, they will change tires, they will put in fuel, they'll make their adjustments. You can't lose or gain any spots. So really, it doesn't matter how far ahead Trayton Lapsevich of DJ Kennington is. If he's happy, okay, I've put myself in the top 5, that's a lot better than being 10th or 12th. We can go make some adjustments. As usual, there is not a mark on that 17 car. He's driving a pretty race so far.
Taking a look at the battle for 11th right now, Raphael Lessard and JP Bergeron trying to get it on the bottom side with Larry Jackson just in their rear view. Once again, that's the battle for 11th as Bergie going to the inside, trying to take Lessard back a position.
Larry Jackson's got to turn up the wick, Bergie as well. Larry Jackson right up in the tire tracks. Raphael Lessard will not be making it easy for Bergeron in the 1 machine. They're all on the lead lap. They all want to stay on the lead lap, but with the pace Cameron is running, that is not very likely.
Yeah, 33 laps to go before we get to the break. It is not something that is likely to happen that they can hold on out there.
Larry Jackson just got all sorts of squirrely under braking. Bergeron closed the door, and Jackson really had to stand on the loud pedal to avoid making contact. Marc-Antoine Cameron has caught that back. And just to give you an idea, right now they are running 11th, 12th, and 13th. So Larry Jackson is 13th place, the last car on the lead lap.
Yeah, there's the leader quickly trying to put him, the first car, 1 lap down. And now he'll go to the outside to try and make a move around the top.
Jackson's a veteran. and anybody who's raced with him knows he will drop to the bottom of the track. He'll make room for the leaders. He's a gentleman racer. So Marc-Antoine Cameron knows he's not going to go through the 84, so he heads up to the outside. Now, Larry Jackson's job is to try to get ahead of anybody else. Cameron puts a lap down.
Cameron working on the back end of the Bergeron number 1 with Lessard just ahead of them. There you see it, the leader trying to get down low in that Paillet Chevrolet number 96 car. Works onto the 1 with Lessard just ahead of them. Lessard is currently in position number 11, trying to lap into the top 12.
And Cameron drives it deep down into the turn. He will clear the 1 of Bergeron and get up to the rear quarter panel of Raphael Lessard. And that number 8, Marc-Antoine Cameron, he's picking him up and laying him down.
Another great performance day for this new team. Adam was formed just before the season began. A 2-car effort between himself and Ranger, with a lot of veterans out there, including former series champion, the youngest champion in NASCAR history, Caden Lapcevich, behind the radios now, not the wheel, for that 27 car Ranger, teammate to our leader, Marc-Antoine Cameron.
So Raphael Lessard now, the driver, top of the running board of those a lap down, and he goes back to that outside groove, trying to keep JP Bergeron behind. We've got a problem. Trayton Lapcevich in the 20.
He's blowing up. Big time blowing up. Oh boy, big time blowing up.
And that looks like the end of the line for the 20 of Trayton Lapcevich.
Horrible. Tough break for the QuickWick driver here in the QuickWick 250. You know, Dave and Frank had high hopes for all their drivers here today. Trayton certainly one of them.
Trayton Lapcevich was fastest in practice today. Didn't back that up in qualifying, but he had a lot of speed.
Blown motor, oil line off. What do you think?
It's not a blown motor. He's driving away.
Oil line off, possibly? Oil cooler line knocked off.
That's
Could
the
be lots of different
strangest thing.
things.
Like, I don't see a puddle where he was parked.
No, because it all went up in smoke.
Yeah, but you'd still have fluid coming out of that car.
Blowing hard, and he will take the right-hander into the pit area.
Disappointment for that race team for sure. I'll tell you who that helps. That's a big help.
Still had the window nutted up, Adam, and typically if you blow in your motor, you drop that and move on, right? So
that's a big assist to the 8 of Raphael Lessard.
Track crew down there doing work on the front straightaway, and we see all kinds of damage. When did that happen to Donald Teach?
Things happen in a hurry out here on a quarter-mile racetrack.
Well, if you're going to tear up one end, that's the best end to tear up.
Time and time again, we talk about the NASCAR Pinty series and the fiberglass bodies these cars run. There is no aerodynamics to these race cars. So when you do damage to them and you do tear up the bodywork, you're really not hurting your performance. In fact, if you tear the front bodywork off of these cars, you keep the tires a lot cooler, and the cooler tires are a performance advantage far more than any deficit you get with aerodynamics. That's a lot of big words.
Still the sun shining here. A couple of hours ago, Adam, we were worried as the weather rolled in, but it turned out to a beautiful evening for stock car racing. We're here in Vallee-Jonction, Quebec, Autodrome Chaudiere.
Spectacular weather, and I'm looking at some of the debris they just picked up and threw in the back of that safety truck. I have no idea what that was. Clint, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be under green most likely, or just about, here at Autodrome Chaudiere.
Welcome back here to Autodrome Chaudiere, Vallee-Jonction, Quebec for the NASCAR Pinty Series QuickWick 250. We are 106 in the books of 250 lap event with a break coming in 19 laps or so.
And it's not, unlike stage racing, it's not a hard point where they will throw that yellow. So it's in and around lap 125. They'll have that halfway break, and all the teams will go to the pits. They'll all get the same amount of time to work on their race cars. But what a race we've seen so far. How impressive is Marc-Antoine Cameron?
on paper, he wouldn't have been the guy we would have been thinking would have been dominating these things.
No, you're absolutely right. And the fact that we've gone red here tells me we might have some oil mess to clean up.
Crew up there in turn. No, they're still picking up debris at them from what I can see. I don't see them with the sweeper trucks out. They're not laying down the oil absorb.
It doesn't take a whole lot to confuse me, Clinton, but
You're confused with what's
I'm
going
at
on
a
here?
bit of a loss. We've got track manager Martin Roy just walked in. You don't get a ton of smiles out of Martin, but he's got a smile on his face today because Mother Nature helped him. Martin, you don't want to come talk to us?
Come on, give us 2 minutes. No?
Now, Martin Roy, his background in motorsports, he was crew chief for Brett Hearn. If you don't know who
Yeah.
Brett Hearn is, he's a dirt modified racer, and I don't care what kind of a racer you are. When your resume include 900 plus main event victories, you've had a pretty impressive career.
Must get boring to win that much.
Nope, I bet it doesn't.
I bet it doesn't either.
And you know why we know it doesn't?
Because they keep coming back.
Because we watched him in Charlotte.
That's true.
He won in Charlotte, and he hadn't won in a while. He wasn't racing full time. But to see the excitement on the face of someone who's done that 900 times, and it was a big deal that he could do it again. And I think he probably knew that was the last one.
There's no better pro in racing than a guy like Brett Hearn. Handled his corporate, did everything great. Congrats to Martin on all the hands he had there. Congrats on a fabulous crowd. Congrats on needing the cops to control this place today because it's out of control in a fantastic way with crowds.
Congrats on the beer companies for providing enough beers. Like, they have not run out of beer.
We're right in front of the beer line, so that's why it's maybe a little more apparent to us because we're standing right here. Are you getting thirsty yet?
I've had some water. I've had a thirst on for
okay,
water.
so there we see it now.
So yeah, we've got some oil dry going down from the inside of turn number 3 up the banking.
We need Benny Hill music.
In my head, actually, Benny Hill music plays a lot in my mind. It's like the soundtrack of my life.
That of the chicken dance for some reason. I don't know why. Even though he wouldn't be doing the chicken dance. I want to say hi to everybody watching at home. We're getting a lot of questions and comments coming in, and that's great. Glad everybody's paying attention to what's going on. And
well, we had a fair amount of following from our racing community in our adventures trying to get to the racetrack today. So it was fun to finally get here and be able to post that on social media that, hey, we made it. The race hasn't started yet.
took a 2.5-hour flight and turned into a 10-hour adventure today.
Yeah.
But we got here. Some of us got sick. Some of us slept.
Oh, exactly. It takes a little bit of everything, but these race days are long, and we're a bunch of troopers. This is what we do. And it's so exciting. As you say, I was excited to come here because I've been doing this long enough, Clinton. We get to announce every Friday night at Oshweekend Speedway. You and I have announced at a lot of different places. But then Saturday comes, and you're all over the country, whether it's Edmonton or Saskatoon, just getting to travel to the different regions, which I haven't gotten to do since 2019. It's such a treat to go out there and see that the passion for this sport is coast to coast.
You know, we see our Friday night employer, Glenn Steyer's racing in this series now. We run the deal at Fridays at Oshweekend, broadcasting live. Do you think we could get Glenn to just move Oshweekend permanently to Thursdays for us, and then him and us, and we could all just make things easier on our Saturdays? Probably not.
We could cruise. We could get in our cars and just meander to the next race, but that's not what it's about.
I asked you if you want to take the motorhome. You're like, no, I'd rather fly and
listen,
watch me get sick on Dave Bradley and stuff.
Yeah, well, not everyone's built for that kind of travel, and that's a story for another time.
Yeah. We're here, though. We're happy. I feel good now. I got some of this awesome poutine they've got here.
And, of course,
Steamed hot dogs, too.
the fun thing about this, aren't they? Oh, can't say enough.
Like, there's a race after this, right? So we can go get some? Because that's what I'm hoping for.
The fun thing about this racing is, and I've got to do it for years, is watch the event live, call the event live, and then see the production that Fuel Media Lab puts together that gets aired on TSN.
Yeah.
And it always you always see things that you didn't see live. So it's always funny to go a little bit deeper into some of the storylines. And Joel Robinson and his crew does as good a job as anybody in the business.
If you're wondering what's behind the quad there, if you knew. That's a portable jet dryer. I mean, you can see it blowing all the dust. You see the stream of dust being shot back to the infield there.
You're being a little generous calling it a jet dryer.
Well.
It is a leaf blower.
Okay.
Jet dryers are what they dry Daytona Speedway with, and that's what Juan Pablo Montoya drove into and created an inferno. If you drive into this thing real hard, you'd probably create a clunk. That's all. Just
poof.
Yeah. A little less ceremonious ending.
I'm trying to build it up, Adam. You just cut it off at the knees. It's okay.
The jet dryer fires up. For the price of fuel, I'm surprised that they can run
That's all they can use out here with the gas costs these days.
So under the red flag, let's give you a field rundown of where we're at. I probably could have opened my timing and scoring before I led into that, but that's not how we do things. 106 laps are complete. Your race leader is Marc-Antoine Cameron of the 96. LP Dumoulin in the 47 is second. The 27 of Andrew Ranger is third. The 17 of DJ Kennington is fourth. The 80 of Donald Teach is fifth. 6th through 10th, Kevin Lacroix in the 74. The 18 of Alex Tagliani. The 9 of Brandon Watson. The 59 of Gary Clute. Now, that's interesting. Timing and scoring is showing Brandon Watson a lap down. And I think
what happened, if I can guess, Cameron took that lap before they came across. We ended up going yellow, so
I believe
we'll see if it gets rejigged.
The top 10 cars are on the lead lap, and I believe Rafael Lessard is 10th, and he'll get the free pass. Then we'll go one lap down. The 1 of J.P. Bergeron is 11th. The 84, Larry Jackson, is 12th. The 98, Sam Fellows, is 13th. Only one lap down. That's a great job by Sam Fellows in that 98. Simon Dion-Vienne in the 37, Brett Taylor in the 3. Those drivers are all unofficially one lap down. 2 laps down, we've got the 12 of Matthew Kingsbury, the 64 of Mark Dilley. 1 more lap down, the 2 of TJ Renamato and the 66 of Wallace Stacy. 1 lap behind them, which would unofficially put them 5 laps down, the 71 of Brian Cathcart. And then drivers who have been sidelined, and we're not sure if they're sidelined permanently or temporarily, the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich, the 92 of Dexter Stacy, and the 0 of Glenn Stiers.
Track work continuing here. They're right up off the outside of turn 2 where Lapsevich stopped working on that part of the speedway.
And we talked about it. So on the screen right now, you see the turn 3 and 4 and you see the shadows over the racetrack. And I'll bet you these drivers are appreciative of being parked in the shadow right now.
What do you make of the green wall? I love it.
It's unique. I really like it.
You know, when you first see it, kind of striking, you're like, I don't know if I'm in love with that. But the more I'm hanging around, the more I like it. It blends into the scenery nice. It's just beautiful.
But it looks so good. Like the Chaudiere painted into it in turn number 3. I mean, I think if it was unkept, maybe we wouldn't like it. But no, they do a nice job. Everything looks great.
If you're ever down near Vallee-Jonction, make sure you come by and check it out. They have some amazing racing here weekly.
I'm looking at your jet dryer go by. I don't think you can pull start a jet engine. I'm not sure, but I don't think it has a recoil like your lawnmower.
Okay, well, what are you going to call it then? A leaf blower?
The blower. Just call it the blower. I mean, think of it. If we didn't pick each other apart, we would run out of things to talk about. Let's take advantage and take another quick break, and we'll be back with more action from Autodrome Chaudiere.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Pinty Series QuickWick 250 live from Vallee-Jonction, Quebec. at Autodrome Chaudiere. Great little quarter-mile bull ring. Adam, you said it's a big quarter mile.
You know, it's a wide quarter mile. So it is a short track. We were 13-second lap times for E3 Sparkplug's pole qualifying. It was LP Dumoulin in the 47 who put his car on the pole.
13.148. What's a winged super going to do here?
If you go on YouTube and search Allison Kuhlman, what was her name then? It was either Allison Kuhlman or Allison Slode. She uploaded her onboard camera footage of racing here.
Oof.
Blew my mind. But there's room. You could run supers here, no problem. Plenty of room to negotiate. So you can see Raphael Lessard right up behind the pace car. That means he will get the free pass.
Adam, we should talk about one of the other supporters here today, St. Hubert. Huge restaurant chain here in this part of the country. I want to go there. I am craving chicken so bad. I said to the guys here today, I need some chicken. Didn't get any yet. We're going to have to go St. Hubert's maybe for dinner after.
You have to do it to support the sponsors. Yellow flag being displayed. We are going to roll once again. And this is tricky with so many cars on the racetrack. They're going to have to pull away very slowly because if anybody doesn't fire, remember, timing is rolling. So if you go a lap down, you go a lap down. The officials do not want that to happen. They want everyone to be able to fire up. So they'll have pushed vehicles in the waiting.
Everybody has pulled away. So
everyone has rolled. So 10 cars on the lead lap going all the way back to the 8 of Raphael Lessard. He will start at the tail end of the field because he will not be led around the pace car until they get the one to go signal. But he'll be pretty content, Clinton, because it is very unlikely he'll be put another lap down. Right now what we're seeing are the lap down cars lay over to the inside of the racetrack while the lead lap cars line up behind the pace car. Looks like Gary Clute in the 59 is the last car on the lead lap, so he would be running 9th. 10th is Raphael Lessard. He is still behind the pace car. And then we'll count cars behind the pace car to make sure that we're right. Cameron, Dumoulin, Ranger, Kennington, Teej, Lacroix, Tagliani, Watson, and Clute. Yep, there's your 9 cars on the lead lap. Thank goodness there's not 11 cars or I would have run out of fingers.
But they're all behind the pace car.
I'm talking immediately behind the pace car. Let's not nitpick.
Oh, you nitpick me over jet drive, but I can't nitpick you over lineups? Things that really matter, Adam?
You nitpick over everything. I live for it. 1 to go. Let's double up the field. Let's send Raphael Lessard back around the pace car. This is a good time. If you're LP Dumoulin, this is actually a good time to push your car. You know we're going to be at the break soon. You don't have to worry about wearing out your right front tire because you're going to get a fresh one at the break. You want to see how your car stacks up with the 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron. So I could see LP Dumoulin pushing the envelope just a little bit on this restart. The pace car peels off the racetrack, leaves the field in the hands of the 96 of Cameron.
Such a slow pace off of 4. Cameron will drag them off to turn number 1. LP Dumoulin trying to grab some position on the outside.
Dumoulin rolling the high side on Marc-Antoine Cameron. Cameron with the advantage into 3, but LP Dumoulin drives that WeatherTech 47 deep down into the corner. Cameron leads that lap, but Dumoulin still with position on the outside. Now Cameron going to clear the 47. Andrew Ranger 3rd, but look at the Castrol Edge, number 17 of DJ Kennington. He's up to 4th.
Less than 15 laps to go here before the break. No need to save the tires. If you got them, smoke them. As we bring them down into 3, Cameron with the lead. Good 2x2 battle right there behind them.
Matthew Kingsbury in the 12 is getting awfully racy out there. I wonder if he knows that he's 2 laps behind because he might think he's racing for that free pass position, but I don't think he is. Andrew Ranger up to P2, and now DJ Kennington looking for 3rd.
You called it, Adam. He slowly marched his way up through the field here. Kennington started in 10th, was 9th when you said to watch him around lap 50, and here he is challenging for the top 3.
It's those 3 races. The first part of this race is going to end in about 10 laps. He's putting himself into position to make life easier for himself in the second half.
Still nosing up on the inside, trying to find a lane. Two veterans racing each other so clean and hard at him. It's a pleasure to watch.
Watching DJ Kennington race is like watching a surgeon behind the wheel of a race car. He just gets the most out of that car. If you get used up by DJ Kennington, he wanted to use you up.
Not a bad point. See Donald Tige and Alex Tagliani right together. Tige with that left rear flapping in the breeze.
Tagliani, he's had a solid run. That car's pretty clean in the 18. He's moved forward a little bit. He's dropped back a little bit. Hasn't put himself into any precarious positions as DJ Kennington. Dumoulin came right across the nose of Kennington. Kennington gave him a little bit of a nudge there in 3 and 4.
That could have been a lot worse for second and third place cars, or sorry.
Third and fourth.
Yeah, third and fourth. As Ranger in second spot with teammate out front.
Kennington with a good run through 1 and 2 there. He keeps the nose to the inside of Dumoulin. Comes right in the tire tracks of the 47. A little bit of a push. He'll look to the inside on the front stretch.
Dumoulin comes back down across the nose. They nearly get together once again.
Kennington sailed the car in there with a lot of rear brake. Just about lost the back end.
Now I think DJ's getting a little frustrated with that 47 car of LP.
Well, he also sees the 74 of Kevin Lacroix coming, and he knows Kevin is aggressive. He also knows it's less than 5 laps to the midway break. DJ Kennington has to go. It's time.
Leader Marc-Antoine Cameron out front, but we still watch the battle with LP Dumoulin, DJ Kennington, and Kevin Lacroix. That's 4th through 6th.
Yellow flag flies.
This will be the break.
I've actually never seen them throw the brake yellow prematurely.
Oh, there it is.
Debris. Okay, so a debris yellow, which they will turn in.
Or crud, as we were saying yesterday.
Crud on the racetrack. Now this will become the midway break.
Some crud, y'all.
DJ Kennington going to settle for that 4th position. 125 laps into the QuickWick 125 presented by St. Hubert.
So all the cars will get assembled behind the pace car. Once they have them all nice and tight formation, the pace car will lead them into the pits.
Yeah, they do things just a little bit different when we get to the halfway point, because they'll take the free pass car and they'll actually put him around the pace car before. Normally they'll do it on the 1 to go. Just waiting. My timing and scoring is a little bit backed up here, so we've got to find out who is where. Not sure where Raphael Lessard got. I thought he had got his lap back. Like I said, doesn't take much to confuse me.
Well, he wasn't from the pace car there, was he?
I
On the
thought
last
so.
Restart.
Yeah, unofficially, I think it might be Simon Dion-Vienne in the Castrol Edge 37 getting that free pass, but we'll wait for the officials to sort that out. No, they're sending the field. Uh-oh.
Did he go prematurely? The leader went in the pits, Adam, and did not follow the pace car. And Ranger thought about it, and then he stopped, did not maintain pace. Kennington passed him.
Wow.
Woohoo, drama.
If I'm Marc-Antoine Camera and I'm looking in my rearview mirror, hey guys, where'd you go?
Wow, so is he losing laps out here right now, Adam?
Every lap counts, I think. Although my timing and scoring still shows Marc-Antoine Cameron the race leader, so this will be a challenging one for the NASCAR officials to sort out.
Wow.
But I don't know that NASCAR officials have ever really taken into consideration the spirit and intent of a rule compared to the cold, hard facts. Because right now, so now everybody except Andrew Ranger is heading into the pit, so cue the Benny Hill music again,
yeah,
Clinton.
what is going on? Confusion. Right? So look at the situation.
So
Cameron went in the pits prematurely, or did he? We don't know. Ranger should have followed the field and didn't. The rest of the field went in, but not with the pace car. There's a lot to unwrap there.
What I believe will happen, they'll sort this out. Marc-Antoine Cameron will be our race leader. The lineup will be frozen, but communication is everything. The race director communicates to the team spotters. The team spotters communicate to their drivers, and that's how instructions get passed along.
But Adam, okay, so I can see from both sides. NASCAR officials say, look, he was obviously the leader. He's dominating this race, made a simple mistake or miscommunication, however you want to call it, takes it into the pits. But you go to all those other teams, say, no. He didn't do it right. How do you give him a pass? It's a very difficult spot to be in.
Here's the challenge. When you're the pinnacle of a sport, like I can see if we're at a Little League game in a midweek show, come on, they're kids. Let's have fun. This is NASCAR. This is sport. This is the premier racing organization in Canada for stock car racing. As I say, I believe we're going to see Marc-Antoine Cameron remain the race leader, but there should be a penalty to somebody somewhere for what has just taken place.
Whew. A lot to unpack here. We'll take a quick break here from Vallee-Jonction, Quebec, Autodrome Chaudiere, and the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Autodrome Chaudiere, the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert, NASCAR Pinty Series race. This is race number 3 on the 2022 calendar. Drayton Lopsovich took the win at Sunset Speedway in Innisfil, Ontario in round number 1. We went to round 2 at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, and it was Kevin Lacroix, the driver from St. Eustache, Quebec, taking the victory there. We look down the running order here. There's a good chance, Clinton, we're going to have our 3rd different winner in 3 races.
But in both those races, Adam, the drivers that dominated did not come home with the checkers.
You noticed that, did you?
I did.
It's happened so often in this series, and that's why I believe, Clinton, you break this race into 3 segments, and the last segment is that final sprint to the finish, where all the work you did throughout the weekend to set yourself up for success, it matters, but it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is a little bit of good fortune and putting yourself in position to not get taken out or to be able to take that advantage and make the move.
Lap 126 on the board. The field is frozen, and they're in the pits right now. It's a break race here at Autodrome Chaudiere. That means the field order will be frozen. They will have a couple minutes to adjust their cars and work on them, and they'll all come out here together in one shot. And we'll get ready to go for the second half.
The other fun thing for me, Clinton, is when they come back onto the racetrack, it's under yellow flag conditions, and very quickly they're going to go back to green. And they're going to do it on sticker General tires, on brand new tires. So it's going to take a couple of laps. These cars are going to be sliding all over the place. That's where I look at someone like Andrew Ranger in the 27 who has phenomenal car control, the 17 of DJ Kennington. This is where drivers like that could take advantage and maybe slip past somebody. This is where you want to make a surprise move.
Gorgeous scenery here in this part of Quebec. As you mentioned earlier, Adam, we're about 50 miles north of Maine. Considered northeast? I guess so.
I would say.
We'd be northeast.
Can't go too much farther northeast. In the United States, anyhow.
Yeah. We could go a lot farther northeast.
Yeah, we're going to.
Country.
Give us a couple of weeks. We fly into St. John's, Newfoundland.
Yeah, and what a show that's going to be. First time ever there. The logistical, I don't want to say nightmare, but the logistical endeavor that's been put together by this series to get all the teams together to ferry all their trucks over to the island. It is not a simple day. It is going to be a big undertaking, an investment in time for the teams to put it out there. I mean, this is not like you're just going to drive from your shop to the racetrack like you would a lot of the races. You're going to have to drive days early, come home days later, take a lot of time to get your stuff there.
Initially, all the teams were going to drive to Montreal, and that's where their haulers were going to be loaded onto a ship and freighted to Newfoundland. I don't know if that's still the case or if they're going farther to the East Coast. There were two different plans. We'll find out what it's going to be, but it is a coordinated effort where all the teams go together. And it's not much different than back in the day with Montreal, and they all had to be there on Wednesday. You don't hit the track till Friday, but this is when you have to load in, so someone would have to go there and be committed.
Toronto, same deal, right?
Toronto, same deal. The reason they do it is for exposure and for the betterment of the sport. It's good for everyone's sponsors. You know, almost every sponsor in this series has a national footprint.
Yep.
So you want the exposure across the country. So the opportunity to go to Newfoundland, that's a big deal. It's great for all the teams. And what we normally find, and I expect we'll find the same thing again, is pretty much all of us will be on one or two flights. So all the competitors, all the teams wind up flying together. That's how it works when we go to the West Coast.
Still under break here at Autodrome Chaudiere as part of the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. Marc-Antoine Cameron and his teammate Andrew Ranger were leading at the break, and they will take it off to the pit area. Then LP Dumoulin, DJ Kennington, and Kevin Lacroix round out the top 5.
So we have just heard through our spotters there may be penalty coming to the 96 of Cameron and the 27 of Ranger.
For stopping.
One came too early, one came too late.
Oh.
You know, it's no different than offsides or false start. You've got to
do it.
They have meetings. There are documents that are sent out to every team to explain how things go. There is a driver's meeting before every race. There is a crew chief's meeting before every race. There is a spotters meeting.
At the driver's meeting, though, there's a produced super high quality video that spells you out exactly what the procedures are going to be.
And do you know why they went to a video?
No.
No human error. By showing the video, this is how it's going to go down.
Nobody can say, hey, you forgot to say that, or you didn't tell us this.
And it's Clinton. I don't want to say it's dreadfully boring, but the drivers event, not that they tune it out, but you see it every week, right? But it's consistency. Oh, confirmed. We have penalties. And Team Paillet is not going to be happy. The 96 and the 27 both being penalized, we believe, to the tail end of the field.
Where's Caden Lapsovich now? Out our window, that's what I want to see.
How you doing? You okay? Some water? You okay?
So that is a big problem.
So leading the field back to green is going to be the 47 of LP Dumoulin and the 17 of DJ Kennington. And Clinton, you explained it very well. If you're one of the other competitors, you're screaming and yelling, you have to enforce these rules. So we'll see when they pull out how this is going to play.
Spotter down here unhappy. Looking at us like we make the call. Looking at the wrong window.
No, I think they just don't like you, Clinton, because they can't hear our stream.
They know I'm the official at the other tracks, so.
They don't know there's penalties coming. So well, I'm going to step in with
I promise you he knew there were penalties. He was looking up here to the scoring saying, what are you talking about?
I'm going to step in with PA, and we're going to have that conversation right now.
All right. Adam will step over into the other booth, and we will continue to chat it up here. So, lots of things to unpack here. As Adam mentioned, the field now will roll back here onto the speedway. Fortunately, we are not officials tonight. We are just watching the scene unfold here. A lot of folks surprised, a lot of folks unhappy, and a lot of folks trying to figure out how it's going to reline up here for the restart. Once again, thank you for watching here, the NASCAR Pinty Series. It's the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. My name's Clinton Jeffrey. I've been joined by Adam Ross all day. Adam has just stepped over into the PA booth to help explain to the house crowd here what the situation is. So, all the spotters down there listening to Adam explain the situation, and none of them, Well, two of them aren't very happy, as you can imagine. Field getting back out here, lined up in turn number 2. And it will be LP Dumoulin with the lead. DJ Kennington will restart in position number 2. Kevin Lacroix will be 3rd. 4th, Donald Tige. 5th, Alex Tagliani. 6th, Gary Clute. 7th, Brandon Watson. And that's how the cars have lined up so far as they've come out of the pit area. No sign of the 96 or the 27 of Marc-Antoine Camerand or Andrew Ranger. Heartbreak for them, though. They were both dominant cars, leading 1-2. So the brake race, or the brake came, the yellow came out. The pace car did not go into the pits, and the leader turned into the pits on his own, Marc-Antoine Camerand. DJ Kennington running second there, but the other issue we're talking about is the Andrew Ranger, 27, who stopped when his teammate pulled in, thought maybe he might have been making a mistake, pulled back out, but because he stopped on the track, he will face a penalty as well. We'll work on trying to give you a view of how this all shook out when they came in, and it was a strange situation for the pace car to not pull into the pits, but to have the leader make the hard right on his own, and his teammate following, and that caused some confusion here, and that led us to the 2 penalties we're going to see here on the restart. Cars continue to roll out here. Once again, we're the NASCAR Pinty Series live here at Autodrome Chaudiere for the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. And what a crazy situation unfolding here once again. Marc-Antoine Camerand, Andrew Ranger, the 2 dominant cars for the first half. Well, at least Camerand. Ranger was coming on strong at the midway point, but both of them with penalties turning into the break. And we'll see how this one shakes out. Spotter still down there discussing it with officials, but still no sign of the 27 or the 96 back out here on the speedway. The other car we have not seen return is the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich. Hole in the block, we're told. So, very strange. And we'll get Adam back here to discuss it with us. You know, strange deal that he would have a hole in the block, lose that much oil, but still be able to drive it back to the pit area. Tough break for young Trayton Lapsevich. And his day will be done. His brother Caden, former series champion, crew chief for the 27 of Andrew Ranger, trying to sort out and unpack this situation. Still have not seen either of those cars come out, Adam.
No, and they'll restart behind the lap down cars, Clinton. I don't know if you were looking down. Joe Chisholm Jr. is still firing daggers up at the officials' tower. He is not happy.
I know. He came over looking at us like we made the call, but we got the broadcast shirt on. I'm with you, Joe Jr. I see it.
No. Rules are rules. They matter.
I just mean
I get the frustration.
We don't make those calls, though. But tough deal.
Now, this is a matter. Andrew Ranger has seen a lot of adversity over the years. He's been in a lot of torrid battles. I want to see how Marc-Antoine Camerand reacts to this kind of adversity. So the way it's going to go, LP Dumoulin is going to refire from the pole position. DJ Kennington on the outside of the front row. Then row number 2 is going to be Kevin Lacroix in the 74 and Donald Tige in the 80. Row 3, 4th, and 5th will be the 18 of Alex Tagliani, the 59 of Gary Clute, and then it's going to be the 9 of Brandon Watson, who is quietly doing his job.
Here's a look at the situation, Adam. Truck, can we back that up a bit just to see that come around? So the pace truck, keep going back. So there you see the pace car, Adam, and it was going to go around. Now, he probably thought it was going to take that right-hander, but it didn't, and he just went in on his own. So watch this unfold here. So he drives in. Ranger thinks, wait a minute, something's wrong. That ain't right. He stops on the track. So you got one teammate making a penalty for entering the pits when they weren't open yet, let's per se.
Correct.
You got another penalty for stopping on the track and not maintaining caution pace. Is that what we're talking about?
No, I think the other penalty was for Andrew coming in too late. Because when they came back around, the rest of the field went into the pits and Ranger stayed out. And we're doing a bit of speculating. I always enjoyed having the officials' radio in my ear while they announce, Clinton. It's kind of challenging because you're listening to one conversation while you're having another. But I was very well informed back then. LP Dumoulin in the 47. DJ Kennington in the 17. There was 124 laps to go.
Well, I know this isn't what the Paillet Chevrolet team want to hear, but we're going to see a show now to watch the two fastest cars in this field try and work their way from the back on a short track like this.
It's races like this, Clinton, that make me cross-eyed. Got to watch the front with one eye, watch the back with the other eye, and they're going back and forth.
Into one, LP Dumoulin with the lead in the WeatherTech Dodge. Behind him, the Castrol Edge Dodge of DJ Kennington. And then you've got the 74 machine, another Dodge of Kevin Lacroix.
Kevin Lacroix didn't look to have a ton of raw speed in the opening of this race. And again, it looks like he's just a little bit off from what the two leaders have, but that car really came to life towards the end of the first half. Alex Tagliani side by side with Donald Teague. He doesn't want to spend too much time battling side by side, but at the same time, Clint, you're not going to give up anything. If you've got a good run on a car, you're going to take that spot. We've got to battle for the lead.
Kennington trying to look down underneath the 47. LP opens the door on the bottom, but gets the momentum down the back straightaway. Keeping around the 96 and 27 now. They've already made their way around 4 cars, working on 5 and 6. Oh, they get right in front of them. And somehow they get through that. And this may just help them out a little bit more.
It's not going to hurt because there's still a few more lap down cars, and they'll get to drive around them for this restart and line up with the lead lap cars. But Sam Fellows, Dexter Stacey got all crossed up in front of Sam Fellows, and I'm not sure if he had a lot of help with that, but definitely had some help finishing it.
And that was right in front of the 2 Paillet cars. Marc-Antoine Cameron and the Ranger 27 almost got tangled up in that. They made it through clearly, as did Raphael Lessard, who was also right there on the scene. 132 on the board of the QuickWick 250, presented by St. Hubert here at Autodrome Chaudiere. Watching the NASCAR Pinty series.
Marc-Antoine Cameron just took a bit of a swipe at the 98 of Sam Fellows there. Not too much to make any contact, but I think to show him he wasn't impressed with something. And I didn't see what was going on there. I looked in a little bit after it all started.
Lights still flashing on top of the pace car. DJ Kennington pulls right up on the outside quarter to say, I am ready to go if you are.
Simon Dionvien in the 37 going to get the free pass. And yeah, Matthew Kingsbury, I think Kingsbury believes he's 1 lap down because he's been racing really hard, but he's 2 laps down.
Why is the WeatherTech Dodge way back there?
Because the 12 car thinks he's the free pass. The 37 car is the free pass.
Got ya.
Yeah, they both came up.
You know what? I was confused.
You thought that was DJ.
With Kennington.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
When
now.
you said he came up on the rear corner, I thought, nah, I won't.
Should have corrected me.
So LP going to pass the 12 machine, keep the 37 in front of him. And Matthew Kingsbury getting the disappointing news because Kingsbury pitted earlier on. And again, maybe not paying attention to the fine print, but the track is live. So if you pull back to the pits under yellow and come back on, if the field has gone a lap, you are that lap down.
135 on the board now as we pace under caution.
Quite a show we're seeing this afternoon, Clinton, wouldn't you say?
Awesome sights to be seen here today at Autodrome Chaudiere. You told me how beautiful it would be, and you didn't disappoint.
That doesn't happen very often.
What, you disappointing me?
I'm a chronic disappointer. But no, great
Overpromise, underdeliver. That's your motto, right, Adam?
Great facility, great energy. There's not much I don't like about this place. If you've never seen open air urinals, folks, you really need to experience it.
That was a shocker, I gotta say.
I mean, you think the
At
trough
the airport,
Maple
I
Leaf
said,
Gardens,
I think I need to use the washrooms. You're not gonna want to use them at the truck.
It's the Maple Leaf Gardens had the trough, so you're shoulder to shoulder. But no, Chaudiere has outdoor urinals.
It looks like the back wall got blown off the regular
Right.
toilet. Right?
you don't know what we mean, you better head down to Vallee-Jonction.
And for all the beer sold, they need a lot of urinals out in the open back there, too.
Right?
It's not like 1 or 2. It's like 50 across the back of the building.
Looks like the field is just about in the proper running order. A 1 to go signal by Mike Charret up in the flag stand. This will be the cue for Simon Dion-Vienne in the Castrol Edge number 37 to pass the pace car. And he will rejoin the tail of the field. LP Dumoulin will take up position. He will set the pace coming to this restart. DJ Kennington on the outside. And again, there was so much aggression in that top 6. Brandon Watson, we haven't said a lot about Brandon Watson, but quietly having a great drive.
The 2 penalized cars run 8th and 9th right now, Adam, so they're halfway back through this field. Here we go. Green is back out. I hope they can hear that announcer at home.
I absolutely hope they can hear. Excitement lives in Quebec short track racing. I love it.
Hey, there's no doubt the Quebec fans are wild for their racing.
DJ Kennington again doing a masterful job of getting himself down in line right behind the race leader. The battle for third is side by side with Kevin Lacroix down low, Donald Teague up high. In fact, they're side by side all the way through this field behind the 2 leaders.
Good battle there. We see Brandon Watson making his way to the outside, the Ontario short track ace, the rookie here in this series. Winner in lots of divisions, whether it be super late models, pro late models. He's won it all.
And Brandon Watson will be thrilled right now that Donald Teague got down to the inside because he can keep trying to roll the high side, try to make a move. He's cleared the 18 of Tagliani, so will drop down in line. But that was a great break for Brandon Watson as DJ Kennington again right up on the left rear corner of our race leader, LP Dumoulin.
Yeah, we've seen some great things from Brandon Watson in the past few years along our travels. Great to see him up here in the top division in Canada now, working his way on the back end of the 80 of Donald Teague, but the battle still rages on between the Dodges of the WeatherTech 74, LP Dumoulin, and the Castrol Edge machine, the 17 of DJ Kennington, who gets the nose down low at him, and he may be able to drive it through.
Kennington is wearing out the 47 of Dumoulin. What veteran craftsmanship by DJ Kennington. He is forcing LP Dumoulin to drive that 47 much harder than Dumoulin wants to, and he's doing it in a way that is not really using up his own 17 machine. He's going to get around the race leader, and DJ Kennington takes the lead.
It's got to be mentally taxing, though, to worry about a guy on the inside as opposed to just running by yourself. You're up on the wheel, all your senses are heightened. It makes for a long day.
And DJ knows that. He is just a master short track racer. Hasn't had the results he has wanted the last few seasons, but he is looking racy here today. Further back, Andrew Ranger on the outside of camera, and they make a little bit of contact off of turn number 2, but Ranger right at home up on the high side.
Teammates going to take each other out there, Adam, off of 4. They got together hard. I think they're both a little hot under the collar after that.
Yeah, it's time to go for both of them, and Marc-Antoine Cameron letting that car push up right up into the driver's door of Andrew Ranger last lap. Ranger going to clear the 96, move Andrew Ranger up to the 6th spot, Marc-Antoine Cameron in 7th.
Hey, Captain Highliner, what's for dinner as he works right on the outside, as Bradley called him earlier. Ranger looking good, but Paye 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron not going away. We see a battle between the 9 of Watson trying to work the Teague 80 car over.
Brandon Watson wedged the 9 machine between the 80 of Donald Teague and those yellow rumble strips. A beautiful aggressive move by Watson. Donald Teague, I think it caught him by surprise.
Teague back up on the outside, pulls around and will clear the 9. Watson sticks the nose in low once again, just ahead of them. It's the 74 of Lacroix.
And Watson smartly gets back in line. You don't want to waste too many laps side by side. If you're not going to clear the driver, take another run at it, set them up again. You've got to clear them within about a lap and a half, or you're going to use up too much rubber and overheat those tires.
Cameron and Ranger, 7th and 8th as they run, 6th and 7th actually now, and they will work on the 5th place car, Brandon Watson.
What battles we're seeing at the front of the pack. Let's see who's in that free pass spot right now. Top running car, 1 lap down. Looks like Brett Taylor and Larry Jackson, the 3 of Taylor, the 84 of Jackson. That's your battle for the free pass position, and is an important battle, Clinton, because I don't believe this race is going to go green flag from here till the end.
93 to go when the leader crosses the stripe the next time by. DJ Kennington leading, LP Dumoulin, Kevin Lacroix, Donald Tejan, Brandon Watson, 6th through 10th, the Ranger, Cameron Tagliani, Clute, and Lassard.
It's been a little while since we've seen DJ Kennington get out in front and drive away from a field of cars. Donald Teaj there showed something to me off of turn number 4. He lost traction in that 80 machine. He might have used up that car a little bit early. He's struggling to keep himself online.
Leader off of turn number 2. We're looking at the battle behind him, which is 4th, 5th, and 6th. Teaj 4th, and they get together. Watson gives a little kiss to the back end of the Teaj 80.
They're driving these cars hard, Clinton. These positions matter right now. They don't want to give up any track position. Teaj fighting an ill-handling race car just a little bit, but the handling comes and goes on these things. If he can ride for a bit, it might come around, so he doesn't want to give up track position and wind up behind some very fast race cars.
Andrew Ranger has the bit in his mouth, galloping towards the front. He is up to position number 6 right now in the 27 car. Teammate, the leader who dominated this race, rolling back 1 position behind him in 7th as they try and work over the number 9 of Brandon Watson and Donald Teaj, who are having a good battle.
You watch the Watson number 9. He's able to keep that car right on the bottom of the racetrack all the way through the turn. Watch the 80 of Teaj right in front of him. He'll get to the bottom of the track, but very quickly that car washes up. In 3 and 4, it'll be the same. He'll get down right to the yellow line, but he can't keep it down the track. Watson can keep that car turning, hook the inside of the speedway.
Still the battle to watch is Teaj and Watson trying to find a way. Brandon Watson in the GMS 9 trying to get underneath the 80 of Donald Teaj. Teaj is working him over. Now he gets to the bottom, but not enough speed to stick the nose in there.
It might take a bump and run by Brandon Watson. He might have to give a little nudge to the 80 just to get him off the throttle, but he's going to take another run to the inside. He points the car down the racetrack side by side, but Teaj with a good run off the turn.
Well, he's up to the number now. Let's see if the 9 can get the drive onto the back straightaway, inching up on the bottom. Cannot quite clear that 80 car yet, and here come the dynamic duel of Andrew Ranger and Marc-Antoine Cameron, the Paillet team coming towards it.
And hats off to Brandon Watson. He wants to make these passes clean, but like you say, Team Paillet is closing in, the 27 and the 96. They're willing to beat on each other. They're certainly willing to beat on the competition.
Things starting to heat up as Cathcart is the 71 red car down on the inside. He'll get clear for this battle to keep raging. And now they get up on the high side. Ranger thought about going to the double bottom, but didn't make it work.
Neither of those cars, neither Teaj nor Brandon Watson, look entirely comfortable up on the top side of the racetrack. Whoa, Mark Dilley slides way up out of the groove and battling with the JP Bergeron number 1. Makes a nice save after going for a long slide.
80 laps to go, 170 on the board in the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. DJ Kennington continues to lead. LP Dumoulin, Kevin Lacroix, Donald Tejan, Brandon Watson. 6th and 7th, cars that dominated before the break. Ranger and Cameron fighting their way back through after an early penalty. Then we got Tagliani and Clute and Lassard in the top 10.
Raphael Lassard trying to make some moves to move his way forward. He's battling with Gary Clute in the 59 right now, but we look at this battle for the 2nd spot. LP Dumoulin has the spot. Kevin Lacroix, he's just been hounding Dumoulin right behind him lap after lap, but really hasn't put a ton of pressure on the 47 just yet.
Leader DJ Kennington still about 10 car lengths ahead of this battle. You're watching 2nd and 3rd. And you see Kennington got 1 car between himself and this battle for 2nd.
Brandon Watson is trying to time his moment as Kevin Lacroix still hounding the 47 of Dumoulin. Watson is trying to time his run to see where he can pull alongside the 80 and actually draw even with Donald Teaj. But right now, it's just like Groundhog Day, lap after lap. He slides it in deep to 1 and 2. He made his move, and Brandon Watson clears the 80 of Donald Teaj, and Teaj comes back and spins him. Brandon Watson loops that car around a huge cloud of smoke. Now you see me, now you don't.
Was he able to keep on the lead lap? I
yes,
think he was.
So you could see it. He wasn't fast enough to complete his pass. 64, Mark Dilly is coming up, I think, to express his displeasure with somebody, and that somebody seems to be the one of J.P. Bergeron. So Watson got in a little bit deep and made some contact. We got a lot of people angry. It looks like Larry Jackson going to have some words with Matthew Kingsbury. So Watson moved Teej up the racetrack a little bit, and Teej just speared him.
That's a good way to put it. I'm getting messages. We can't hear the announcer.
Oh, fantastic.
Good.
Eric is amazing. I've had so much fun in Quebec working with probably half a dozen different people, from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve to Saint-Eustache to Chaudiere to Trois-Rivières. Just the passion is so much fun.
We see the lights on the back straightaway there, Adam, and it's kind of neat. A lot of the other tracks we go to, they're overhead, just aim down. These ones kind of aim at the back of the cars all the way around. So the lights are never in the driver's face. But if you get congruent light all the way around, it probably lights up gorgeous.
They look like high-quality Whelen lights.
Yeah.
Of course, Whelen, a big partner with NASCAR. Brett Taylor going to get the free pass in that number 3 machine, so good for him. From Calgary, Alberta, Brett Taylor got off to a bit of an ugly start, but he hung in there. Just keep on turning those laps, keep doing your job, and wait for your opportunity. And look at this, with 70 laps to go, he's going to wind up back on the lead lap. And once you're there, Clint, anything is possible.
Well, if you're just joining us and wondering what's up with Trayton Lapcevich, about 50 laps in, blew up the motor, hole in the block. Strange, though, he was able to drive it back, but a ton of smoke out of that car. So Lapcevich out of this one early. Glenn Stires parked his car early, Adam, and I think Wallace Stacy parked his car early. No, Wallace is still out there. So I think that we only lost 2 cars so far.
Wallace did that earlier this year. He pulled into the pits for about 50 laps, and I don't know if the crew did a lot of work or if he just had a cheeseburger and wound up back on the racetrack. But he's having a blast out there racing with his son Dexter Stacy. He said it's just a thrill for him. It's something he's wanted to do for a long time, and they did a little bit in dirt modifieds, but they seem to really be enjoying themselves in this NASCAR Pinty series.
21 cars still on the speedway. We've only lost those 2, the 20 of Lapcevich and the 0 of Stires.
Traffic is a game changer. There's no doubt about it. So this restart, we saw DJ Kennington drive away from the 47 of LP Dumoulin. LP Dumoulin trying to hold off the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. So if Kevin Lacroix can get aggressive on the restart and maybe slip into second, let's see if he has anything for the 17 of DJ Kennington.
.181 laps, just under 70 to go. Once again, 2 weeks from today, we'll be farther east in St. John's, Newfoundland, for the first ever visit of the NASCAR Pinty Series to the Rock.
Eastbound Raceway. Looks like a beautiful facility. And from what I understand, they're expecting the town to basically shut down and have a big festival of motorsports that weekend.
Awesome. The other cool thing I saw, the scenery here is beautiful with the trees and the forest and the hills, but you got the ocean right off the backstretch of that, and the scenery. You know, we could see icebergs floating by the backstretch, literally, not even putting it out there as facetious. It could really happen.
We'll go back to green. DJ Kennington, the Castrol Edge 17, LP Dumoulin, the WeatherTech 47. They'll come up to speed side by side down the front stretch.
We are on it. Had to let Eric give the call. And here they're going at it. These guys must have be sick of seeing each other out of. And Teej with problems.
Flat right front.
Yep, pushed up, Sparks out there, and we're going to go yellow again here. He will not clear.
Man, that hit him right in the karma.
And they're waving him on, and he is ultra slow. And we're going to need a yellow here.
Yellow flag flies. And oh, they're all checking up coming off of turn number 4. Come on, spotters. So Donald Teej with a flat right front goes down 1 lap. Pretty much ruins his chances for a decent run. And as he pulls into the pits, Clinton, he's going to lose another lap, maybe 2.
For sure.
In fact, certainly another lap, maybe 2 or 3. So Donald Teage's day goes sour in a hurry. Opportunity knocks for Larry Jackson in the O'Neill Electric Supply 84. We have a look at the replay. Watch Teage shoot up the racetrack in turn number 3.
Good job to keep it off the fence. Is that karma
Yeah.
for the Watson deal?
I think so. Yeah,
Probably popped that tire.
Karma doesn't miss. it acts in
Especially when
funny
you shoot
ways.
with a spear.
Yeah, right? No, is it? Who knows? Who knows? It's short track racing.
I'm just saying, a better question. Do you think the contact caused that flat?
It very well may have, but the way he hit, yeah, I wouldn't have thought so, because he hit Brandon in the left rear, but he turned him quick enough that he shouldn't have turned him with the right front tire. Like, there's not much damage to the front of the right front fender of that.
That's what makes me wonder, did he hit him with the tire? Because there's no mark on the fiberglass.
I didn't think he got up beside him. I thought he hit him pretty square from behind, but hey,
I
who
don't
knows?
know, it was 6 laps ago.
We'll watch it next week in high definition on TSN.
Thank you, everybody, for watching along on the stream today. If you couldn't be with us, once again, we're here. Vallee-Jonction, Quebec, Autodrome Chaudiere for the NASCAR Pinty Series. QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. It's been an action-packed day so far, Adam. We've seen pretty much everything you could see, except a good scrap.
Yeah,
Night's still young.
I don't know that we'll see that. It's early in the season
I
for
shouldn't
that.
say that. I'm just teasing. I mean,
We've seen some fisticuffs generally at the end of the year.
Well, the
We
fall
save
brawl
it for
turned
the
into the fall
Pinty's.
brawl.
Yeah, the Pinty's fall brawl is really the occasion. But the drivers generally take it out on the racetrack, and this has been a good race. You know, we've got some fenders missing fiberglass, but by and large, it's been hard racing.
you know, if you're a fan of the Paillet team, you're happy. They're crushing the field. Then they have problems. Then they're upset. Then they're mad. Now they're coming back towards the front. It's going to be extra rewarding if they can get back up there and get that one done after the adversity they've had to face today.
It definitely will be. But this is one of those things where you know the team is going to regroup, and whether they have that meeting tonight or tomorrow or Monday, they are going to have that meeting before the next race and say, okay, who is going to coordinate how we conduct ourselves in these races? Who is going to be responsible for making sure we know exactly what is going on at all times? 1 to go. We're going to light them up again out of turn number 4. It'll be DJ Kennington again leading the field to the restart. He's going to start on the inside. And Clinton, let's take. How close can you get to our French announcer?
No, I can get real close.
We'll be quiet. We're going to send Clinton over there with his headset, and you will hear some excited announcing. That was
Your ears blew up there, Adam. Everybody's TV at home. Eric loves it. We love it too. Here we come back to it. DJ Kennington trying to put the final 50 or so together here. 57 over LP Dumoulin. And now Ranger up on the outside, challenging for the 3rd position. You talked about him working that high line. Tagliani's up there with him too. Cameron
mired behind the 74 of Kevin Lacroix. Lacroix is really in the lane he wants to be in, but Andrew Ranger, he's where he wants to be, up on the high side, moves up to that 3rd spot, and it couldn't be better for Andrew Ranger. He's got Kevin Lacroix behind him, who's going to aggressively defend his position.
Marc-Antoine Cameron gets to the bottom. He will try and take that position away from the Lacroix Tuning ESR Wheels Dodge machine number 74.
Kevin Lacroix has fantastic car control up on the high side, so Marc-Antoine Cameron's going to have to work hard, and if he chooses to get physical with Kevin Lacroix, we know the repercussions will be swift, but it looks like Cameron going to clear the 74 of Lacroix, and Andrew Ranger to the inside of LP Dumoulin. Some contact in 1 and 2 between a couple of former champions. Heck, the front 3 spots in this field, if I'm not mistaken, represent 8 or 9 series titles.
That's crazy. Marc-Antoine Cameron, arguably the most dominant car in the early portions of these races so far. We got trouble with Matthew Kingsbury coming lame up on the outside at turn number 2, and that's going to cause the yellow here once again.
It has been a parade of free passes the last few laps. Larry Jackson was the last car to get back on the lead lap, and this time the benefactor is going to be JP Bergeron, but JP is 2 laps down. This should put him to 1 lap behind the leader, and don't look now, but Andrew Ranger and Marc-Antoine Cameron have made it up to 2nd and 3rd place respectively. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Pinty Series, QuickWick 250, presented by St. Hubert. Live from Vallee-Jonction, Quebec, Autodrome Chaudiere here. We are 201 laps in with 49 to go in our 3rd race of the season.
So Caden Lapcevich, he must have stayed down here in turn number 1. He's going over to see Joe Chisholm. Spotter for the 27, gives Joe a poke from behind, but didn't stop to chat for very long.
You know what that tells me? They're feeling good about where they've gotten back to. A little joking around, the frustration's gone. Let's get back to where we were around lap 115.
Again, this is the rebound that 27 team has needed. They have the same speed or similar to the 96. Now we're going to adjust the running order here a little bit when they go back to the last completed lap. Let's see where Dumoulin winds up. It looks like Dumoulin might restart 3rd, might restart 4th. Keep in mind with the NASCAR Pinty Series, unlike NASCAR Cup Series or Xfinity or Trucks, they go back to the last completed lap. They don't have scoring loops all the way around the racetrack.
So we continue to click laps off here slowly under caution. 2:03 now on the board. We will undoubtedly have a couple more cautions before the end of this one.
Cautions breed cautions. And thankfully, we're not seeing crashes. We're seeing cut tires. Saw a blown engine earlier on. 1 to go signal's been given. JP Bergeron going to close in on the back of the field. He goes around the pace car. He is now 1 lap down. Unofficially, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 cars on the lead lap.
We'll restart when they cross the line to complete 2:05 with 45 to go here in the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert.
It's a Saturday night special. Here at Autodrome Chaudiere, we are back under green.
Kennington leads them off to turn number 1. Andrew Ranger up on the outside with teammate Marc-Antoine Cameron back there in position number 3. Dumoulin and Lacroix touch each other right in front of Tagliani.
And remember, Kennington wants to win this battle and let Ranger and Cameron duke it out. A little bit of contact between Cameron and Kennington, so not what DJ wanted. Not only to let Andrew out in front, but have Marc-Antoine Cameron right on his tail.
Cameron working over that Castrol 17 of DJ Kennington. Behind them, you've got the 47 of LP Dumoulin, Alex Tagliani, Lacroix, Clute, and Lassard. A lot of the big guns are right there inside the top 10.
Great battle for the 5th spot between Kevin Lacroix, Alex Tagliani, Gary Clute, Raphael Lassard. Brandon Watson is right there as well. Andrew Ranger out in front. He's opened up about 2 car lengths on DJ Kennington, but that's it for the moment.
Lassard and Clute doing battle here for position number 7. Clute has it. Lassard trying to take it away on the bottom in that Ray Jr. number 8.
Larry Jackson working the outside of the racetrack on Brett Taylor. He'll tuck back in line now, trying to race his way into the top 10. He's in the 11th spot right now in that 84 machine. Is DJ Kennington losing the handle on that Castrol Edge 17. He slid up the racetrack just a little bit that corner.
Cameron working on the inside quarter there of that Castrol Dodge. Trying to stay off them. They managed to keep it clean that time through 3 and 4. We work on lap 213.
And you watch what Kennington will do. He's going to leave the inside open for Cameron, but he's going to make Marc-Antoine work for it. Whenever he gets to the inside, Kennington wants to use up as much rubber on that 96 as he can. So the veteran has moved up the racetrack, get into a comfortable line, and make life challenging for the 96. He knows for the moment he's got nothing for the 27. He's setting himself up for later in this race.
We watch the battle here between Raphael Lessard and Brandon Watson. Watson back up to 9th, working on 8th after the contact with Donald Teach.
Cameron still working the inside. He's moved up quite a bit, but DJ Kennington still keeping him honest down on the bottom. Kennington taking a wide berth off the turn at the stripe. I believe it's still Kennington just by a nose over the 96.
Side by side, they go back to turn number 3. The Paye Chevrolet and the Castrol Dodge. Side by side, back to the line. Kennington edges him out that time with 33 to go.
He is wearing him out lap after lap. Cameron is over it now. Cameron moves him up. Let's see if DJ responds. He does, right into the back bumper of the 96. Just give him a bit of a push. But every corner has a purpose for the 17 of DJ Kennington.
Was fast there for a while, led, but then these penalized cars with the brake made their way all the way back through the field, Adam, and that is no short order for these guys to come all this way in right around 100 laps.
An impressive feat for sure as Andrew Ranger out in front. He's got 10 car lengths over his teammate Marc-Antoine Cameron. There's going to be plenty of traffic. If there's not traffic, it means it's because there were yellows, so there will be restarts claimed. But either way, Andrew Ranger has a lot of work ahead of him before he can get to the checkered flag.
2:20 on the board, 30 to go. Ranger still in control over Cameron, Kennington, Dumoulin, and Tagliani. 6th through 10th is Lacroix, Clute, Lessard, Watson, and Brett Taylor.
Great battle a little further back between the 9 of Brandon Watson, the 3 of Brett Taylor, and the 84 of Larry Jackson. Taylor trying to put the bumper to Brandon Watson, but Watson doing a nice job of playing defense. Just ahead of them, Raphael Lessard pressuring the 59 of Gary Clute.
We're looking at the battle here between LP Dumoulin, who runs in position number 4, and Alex Tagliani runs 5th with Lacroix back there in 6th. That's 4th, 5th, and 6th on your screen right now.
Now Taylor pushes Watson down into the turn. He'll drive to the inside in that number 3 to try to clear that position. Door to door, they race through 1 and 2. Watson still up on the outside. Brett Taylor down low as we keep an eye on other battles on the racetrack as well. But fantastic racing between Watson and Taylor.
There you see it. Taylor in the number 3, TCB North Country Property Maintenance Machine for Ed Hackinson Racing. Brandon Watson back there in the 9, and also coming into the picture, Larry Jackson in the O'Neill 84.
The 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron is closing the gap on Andrew Ranger. They are 3 wide, the slower traffic, about a straightaway ahead of Ranger, but they are battling tight in a pack.
We get a good look at LP Dumoulin as he tries to hold on to position number 4. Tagliani trying to get it away. He runs in 5th. Lacroix up on the outside to the 74.
Cameron about 3 car lengths now behind Andrew Ranger as Ranger drives to the inside of Sam Fellows in that 98. Behind them, DJ Kennington looks like he might be closing in just a little bit. So Kennington not letting them get away too much, and he's got a healthy advantage over LP Dumoulin running in 4th.
20 laps to go, 2-0. Remaining, and Andrew Ranger leads Cameron, Kennington, Dumoulin, and Tagliani. We got trouble on the speedway. It is Lacroix.
Lacroix went around, and I'll bet you he spun out in fluid put down by the 98 car. The 98 is Sam Fellows.
Lacroix heads back to the pit.
No, he's going to make the... Oh, maybe he is. I just saw the 98 of Sam Fellows smoking, and then right after that, Kevin Lacroix spun out in the 74. Fellows going to make the hard right turn into the pits as well, but this should put JP Bergeron on the lead lap.
And there's no way Lacroix can get a tire change and get back out without losing a lap, right, Adam? There's just,
He's already lost a lap. So he's lost 1 right now. And now he's lost 2. JP Bergeron going to move up and take position behind the pace car.
Still clicking off laps here under yellow as this one's starting to wind down. 233 laps into the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert here at Autodrome Chaudiere for the NASCAR Pinty Series. We are here in Vallee-Jonction, Quebec at a gorgeous little 1/4 mile bull ring here.
Why do these towers always seem to face the sun?
Yeah, I know.
It's like announcing from an easy bake oven. Or it just could be that I'm fat.
I'm trying to use the pillar here to keep the sun out of my face. If another 10 minutes, the sun will be down behind the mountains and we'll be all right here.
We're going to be all right anyhow. We are coming down to the last 15 laps of the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. It is still a wide open race. We have already seen the GM Paillet teammates, Marc-Antoine Camerand and Andrew Ranger, rough each other up a little bit. Rangers crew chief Caden Lapcevich is now directly in front of us. He is right at the start-finish line watching this race unfold.
Chatting with the fans.
I think he's chatting with Andrew Ranger.
He looks pretty chill. He was just talking to the gentleman there in the stand behind him, but yeah, interesting that he doesn't want to be around the other spotters.
He's not a spotter.
Well, I get that, but you think he'd want to hang out there with the team maybe.
I
Different
wouldn't.
Perspective.
He's doing, and if this works, if Andrew Ranger has success, Caden Lapcevich will not be able to be near the rest of the team for the rest of the season.
Why?
Superstition.
Yeah, he's going to have to stay away from them. If it means he gets a lot of wins, I think Caden would be okay with that.
They'll do what they have to do.
A lot of pressure on the youngster. You know, everybody knows he went away to school for this trade. Former champion. Got a good budget. Got a good driver. He's got to feel like he has to make this work.
I'll tell you what, the improvements they have made from the first 2 races to this race are phenomenal. So they've got to be proud of themselves for that effort. But that's not enough. When you're a multi-time champion like Andrew Ranger, when you're a champion like Caden Lapcevich, you demand more. You expect more from yourselves. So we look at that great improvement and think, wow, this is unbelievable. They look at it and think this is where we should have been on opening day.
Yeah, for sure. 2:37 on the counter as we continue to click them off here. That means we're headed for about a 10-lap shootout to close off the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert here tonight.
Doesn't look like they're ready to go 1 to go either, Clinton, so they're sorting out the running order. But hopefully we'll get back and reset this field and stack them up. JP Bergeron back onto the lead lap. We've mentioned that. So we were down to 9 cars on the lead lap. And now we're up to, what, 12?
Yeah.
In fact, we would have been at 13 if not for Kevin Lacroix having his trouble.
Have not seen him back, Adam, have we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back on the track
Oh, there we
towards
go.
the tail end of the field. Wallace Stacy dropping to the back. Now we're going to get the 1 to go. Is Andrew Ranger going to restart on the inside or the outside? I'd be shocked if he takes the bottom, but he does. Ranger's putting Marc-Antoine Camerand to the outside. I think he knows, as aggressive as Camerand is, he does not want to be pushed up the racetrack.
Going to be a 10-lap shootout to finish this one off. Great job by all the competitors today, Adam. You know, we've got a lot of racers still in this field. Looks like we've only lost 2 so far today, which is awesome.
Lined up coming to the restart. Ranger down low. Camerand. Man, Camerand was trying to time that. He missed just a little bit. He tries to get down behind the 27 of Ranger. DJ Kennington is there. Some bumper tag among the top 3. Ranger going to squirt out in front. Marc-Antoine Camerand settles into second, and then they are battling for third.
I don't know if Cameron will be happy in second. He may just move his teammate here in the end of this one.
It would surprise me if he doesn't take a swing for the win.
Drives hard up the back end of that 27 car of Andrew Ranger. 8 laps to go as they cross the stripe.
Wow. Kennington, Dumoulin making contact down in 1 and 2. That's the battle for third. And the more they battle, the more they drop back from our lead duo. Kennington trying to clear the 47 of Dumoulin. Dumoulin, oh, trouble. Holy moly.
TJ Renomato's car gets monster trucked by LP Bergeron, and that car is just
Yard sale.
destroyed. Oh my goodness.
TJ Renomato drove under the one of JP Bergeron so far. It has knocked the windshield out of the 2 car.
That's insane.
I looked down. I thought the one of Bergeron was flipping over, but he wasn't. He was just way up in the air at an odd angle.
If we don't go red here, we're going to be having some NASCAR overtime.
I think we're going to see NASCAR overtime.
Wow, there's a lot of debris. You see it down here in turn 3 and 4. There's all kinds of pieces. He dropped his hood down here in turn number 1, and who knows what else flew off on the way back.
So officials immediately beginning to sort things out. That was a curious restart, and I don't know if we can have another look at it. We're not going to be able to. Marc-Antoine Cameron really hung back about half a car length on that restart. It allowed him to get a good run and immediately drop into the 2nd spot, but that almost looked like a pre-planned team move. The trouble with that, Clint, if you drop back half a car length, that's DJ Kennington's nose right up to your driver's door. So Kennington allowed that to happen once. I don't expect him to allow it to happen a second time.
Well, this is going to put Kennington square on the rear bumper of whoever the leader is, and that leader's going to have to get out there. And obviously, it's Ranger, but what I meant is whoever chooses to start on the bottom is going to have Kennington right in the rear view.
You got it.
And if I had my choice between, Kennington or LP, I think I'm taking LP to not get wrecked over Kennington.
Yeah,
And not that DJ's wild, but he's not afraid if he's got the car to make the move.
no, and we've seen over the course of many years, I can remember these kind of finishes at Barrie Speedway were almost commonplace, where the 3rd place car would push the leader down into the turn, and then you never knew who was going to survive. You never knew who was going to make it off of turn number 2 to battle for the win. I mean, some amazing highlights of Don Thompson Jr. unstrapping himself from the car to charge down to victory lane to have words.
It's a good look at some of the parts we see still scattered around the speedway here as they continue cleanup on the TJ Renomato number 2 after contact with LP Bergeron in the number 1 car.
While we're under red, let's take another quick break, and when we come back, it'll be the exciting conclusion of the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert.
Welcome back live to the NASCAR Pinty Series QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert from Autodrome Chaudiere in gorgeous Vallee-Jonction, Quebec. We are under red here with 5 laps to go here in this one. We've just cleaning up an incident between TJ Renomato and LP Bergeron. Cleanup crew hard at it to clean up all aspects of the groove because we're going to need them all here with 5 to go, Adam.
And is JP Bergeron still on the racetrack in the number 1, or did he peel off to the pits? I think he took his car back to the pit area. Who knows what kind of damage might be to the underside of that car, to the fuel cell.
I've been calling LP all day, haven't I?
No, you've only done it once or twice.
JP Bergeron, my mistake.
It's tough. We got JF Dumoulin, LP Dumoulin, JP Bergeron,
DJ
MA
Kennington.
Cameron, DJ Kennington.
TJ Renomato.
Yeah, it's a handful. And I mean, look at what we've got to announce. We look on the back straightaway. Sam Fellows 98, Brian Cathcart 71. They're basically identical race cars. Like they are twins.
Well, there was a time when red and white was the color in this series. Everything was red and white. We were talking about that last week. And now we've got some good various colors out here.
The jet blower back on the racetrack, Clint.
It's a leaf blower, I thought you said.
It is. It's just a blower.
The blower.
A blower. Boy, JC Paillet and that GM Paillet bunch, they've got to be thrilled with what they have achieved. Yellow flag is in the air.
Well, to that comment, you're absolutely right. They haven't had the finishes they wanted, but they've been fast everywhere. They got to feel great coming into every racetrack so far this year.
You know, it's much like practicing sports, Clinton. You can't coach winning, you can't teach winning. You can only do the things you need to do to put you in position. So the wins will come. When you have that speed, when you're as dominant as they are, you know the results are going to come. If you don't have that speed, that's when you're frustrated and thinking, okay, something in our recipe is not adding up.
4 to go now as we pace under yellow. Looks like we will probably have not much more than a green-white checkered finish at the end of this one, Adam. Well, they're showing the white flag now, so it looks like about 3 to go here to finish this one off.
And again, just like overtime, if the white flag flies, the next flag ends the race. That much we know. And it's go time. Andrew Ranger again choosing the inside lane. Last time, Marc-Antoine Cameron hung back, right like he is right there. He had his front bumper just ahead of the number of Andrew Ranger's. And I'm shocked at how he's laying back like that. I would think he'd want to be at least nose to nose. And he's letting himself fall back. The pace car peeling off. DJ Kennington, he's going to hang back to try to get a run. But again, Cameron lays back, and I don't think it's going to work this time.
Well, they'll both pour it down the inside. Cameron's got to deal with Kennington, and Ranger will drive off down the back straightaway to a 3-car length advantage, coming for the white flag.
Kennington on the inside, Cameron up high, Andrew Ranger. Oh, trouble. Trouble in turn number 4. They are stacked up. We are still under green, and now we're not. The yellow flag flies, and that should end this one. Well, Caden Lapsevich celebrating down here. Checkered flag is waving for Andrew Ranger in the 27. Unofficially, everything is unofficial beyond Andrew Ranger. We know Ranger is the winner. Behind that, they're going to use all means necessary at the point of the yellow to determine the position of every other car on the track. So I think we can rest assured the top 3 are Ranger, Cameron, and Kennington. Not sure which order, but it'll take a while to sort out the finishing order of this one. But Clinton, one thing I want to make so clear, what a great job by this series, by these racers. We have now completed 3 races without having a serious wreck that destroyed cars. CTMP, Sunset, and now here at Autodrome Chaudiere, these drivers have shown you can race hard, you can rub wheels, you can bang bumpers, rub doors, but put on a great show in the process.
Andrew Ranger from Roxton Pond, Quebec, picks up the win here for his new team, the GM Paye Chevrolet squad. Teammate Marc-Antoine Cameron up in the top 5 solidly as well, along with DJ Kennington. What a great run, and Adam, looks like they just cleared the top 3 till they can figure out, right?
No, what they do now, they're only going to bring the winning car to victory lane, but I think anymore, only the drivers for 2nd and 3rd come to victory lane. Let's have a look at the replay as we're watching this. Side by side are Kennington and Cameron. Down into the corner they go, but Andrew Ranger all by himself out in front by about 10, 15 car lengths. He was clearly the leader when the yellow flag flew, and he is the race winner here at Autodrome Chaudiere.
While we get ready to go down to victory lane, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us here today and joining us on the stream. We appreciate you being with us coast to coast as we bring in the NASCAR Pinty Series. I want to thank everybody from QuickWick and St. Hubert for presenting today's QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. And a very happy Andrew Ranger puts the punctuation point on the deal today, and he will come around and talk to our TSN crew and Todd Lewis in just a moment's time. Assembling victory lane down there for Andrew Ranger. Pinty Series officials getting down there, going to get him a quick drink of water and work on getting him out here. Probably very thirsty, a long, hard day of work there inside that Paye Chevrolet number 27.
I don't know, Clint, a checkered flag brings out the energy in anybody. Andrew Ranger, he is going to be pumped up. This was not a typical Andrew Ranger drive here. He normally gets up to the outside and hangs out there. Tonight, he went where he had to go. He ran inside, he ran outside, he did everything he needed to do, and we wait to be joined by Todd Lewis.
The familiar number 27 arrives in victory lane here at the Autodrome Chaudiere. It is his second win at this track. A first win for crew chief Caden Lapsevich, and Andrew Ranger, you rode the outside when you need to, and you took advantage and overcame some adversity with that penalty in the middle of the race.
Unbelievable. Un gros merci à tout le monde ici. Yeah! Unbelievable. I want to thank all of my crew. Amazing job. Thank you very much. We worked so hard. It's been a tough start for us this year, but we finally win the first race for us with WMI and GC Payet, Chevrolet. Gros merci à tout le monde. Les fans ici. Vraiment content. Unbelievable race.
Andrew Ranger is your winner here at the Autodrome Chaudiere.
Well, there you have it. An elated Andrew Ranger, a little bit English, a little bit French, giving the fans something to cheer about. But Clinton, that race had everything we could ask for.
Awesome excitement. There were minor accidents. There were comers and goers, like you said. There were penalties that didn't ruin guys' days. I thought it was a great show all the way around.
Deserved penalties. Like it was something the officials have to call. They were able to recover. It made things pretty darn exciting. You don't know what would have happened otherwise, but just a great show. And I think they can all be proud. And thankfully, not a ton of work for these teams to do before our next race, which is in Newfoundland.
2 weeks from today, it'll be June 25th. We'll be live from The Rock, St. John's, Newfoundland at Eastbound Speedway. First ever visit for the NASCAR Pinty Series. That's going to wrap things up here from Autodrome Chaudiere in Vallee-Jonction, Quebec. That's it for the QuickWick 250 presented by St. Hubert. I want to say thanks to everybody, Adam, here at Autodrome Chaudiere for the hospitality today and everybody who took care of us. Let's take a quick field rundown, and then we'll wrap it up.
You know what? I was going to do that, Clinton. I just pointed at it, but it's unofficial. So Andrew Ranger, DJ Kennington, Marc-Antoine Cameron, LP Dumoulin, Alex Tagliani. That is probably the top five in similar order. Raphael Lessard, Gary Clute, Brett Taylor, Brandon Watson, Simon Dion-Vienne. Looks like he's going to wind up with a top 10 finish, and good for him. Just outside the top 10 on the lead lap looks to be Larry Jackson. Then it's going to be Mark Dilley a lap down. 2 laps down is Kevin Lacroix in 13th, so we can say with confidence that that is the case. And all these drivers who are laps down. Matthew Kingsbury going to finish 14th. Sam Fellows 15th. Brian Cathcart 16th. Wallace Stacy 17th. JP Bergeron 18th. Dexter Stacy 19th. TJ Rinamato 20th. Donald Teege 21st. Trayton Lapsevich 22nd. And the zero of Glenn Steyer's 23rd. So for Clinton Jeffrey, I'm Adam Ross, signing off from Autodrome Chaudiere. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks from Newfoundland.